Good evening everyone, and welcome to the Phoenix International Raceway in Phoenix, Arizona for more of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing, and this is rounds 13 to 16 at the championship. And after racing at Phoenix, Watkins Glen and Brands Hatch, we now head to our first oval race meeting of the season. I'm Adam Bath, and alongside me is iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. And Alex, it wasn't too long ago we were actually here for the Winter Series, so this track should sort of be still in the driver's memory heading into these four races tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. There's obviously a lot of people here this week that weren't there for that race. But yeah, still on the old version of the circuit as well, without the dog legs, so should make it a little bit safer, but not too much. So it's going to be a lot of fun. One thing that we need to pick up on as well is that there are no cautions as well, so we're not going to see the safety car out at all. So they just have to disable the feature on the oval, because obviously it'd be coming out like crazy all over the place, just like an oval race. So yes, they disable it, but that means they can't actually throw one manually as well. So if you're watching the stream tonight and shouting at it, why is there no caution? Well, that's why.
Oh, if practice is anything to go by, we will see quite a few wrecks. We were running free wide quite a few times during the practice session that was on earlier tonight. We'll run you through the Drivers' Teams Pro-Am Championship and of course the Safest Driver Championships right now. Simon Field is 52 points ahead of Wojciech Savidovic heading into this race meeting. Richard Gord doing a brilliant job for the AM drivers as well. He's in third in the Pro Championship. Stelin Chepelevsky is fourth. Ross Balfour in fifth, his first season in the BSR TC, so good to see a newcomer up there inside the top five. Alex Malensky's in sixth, Michael Shellback seventh, eighth Jamie Fluke, the Winter Series champion, Liam Atkins is in ninth, and Colin Cunniff is in 10th. Moving over to the AM standings, Richard Gore, as we were saying, is leading that by 177 points over Liam Atkins and Paul Smith in third, with McCarran fourth and Roy Ververke in fifth. And in the Teams Championship, Pro-Am Team Apex Racing is leading the Teams Championship with Alfada Tech in second, Friction Racing third, Simpson Racing fourth, and Eurochip Digital in fifth. And finally, over in the Safest Driver Championship, Ashley Blake Hood is heading that after only picking up 9 incidents from the entire season so far. However, to be fair, he's only started 7 compared to Simon Field, who's in second, who's raced all 12. But yeah, Alex, we were talking before we went on our Apex Racing Pro-Am team. They're doing a pretty good job at the moment. They're leading even the pro teams. Yeah,
the guys are delighted with that as well, and they've not really had any reserves either. So just good, consistent results, and you know we'll blow the trumpet and whatnot. But and you know, that's what's got them to the front. I mean, it's not like they've been clearing out with the victories and things like that. So. Yeah, great start to the season, and I'm sure they just want to carry on with that momentum throughout the rest of the year.
Well, qualifying's on at the moment. Looking at the practice times, though, Ray Alfala is back this week, and it's no surprise, Alex, that he was third in practice. And I know it's obviously an oval racetrack, but I just thought that in the Kia Optima we wouldn't see him up there. But yeah, he's definitely pushing the likes of Sutton and Rushworth, who are just in front of him.
Yeah, well, this is certainly his forte, isn't it? So great to see him on there, and what he won't have is he won't have 3-4 years worth of experience in setting up the Kia on an oval as an advantage. So there's very limited settings that you can do, and he'll know how he'll want the car to feel and how it should react and whatnot, and I think we'll definitely see him up there and fighting, but I think to find any sort of real advantage that's going to propel him straight to the top is going to be very, very difficult, because you can't take anything away from the drivers that are in there week in, week out, that are at the top. They're top level drivers, and as is Ray, and his experience on the ovals will come out tonight, but yeah, those quick guys are still going to be there.
Ashley Sutton also on provisional pole position, took a maiden podium in the actual Dunlop MSA BTCC at the weekend. That was great to see.
Yeah, amazing. And how great is it that we see him in this series as well.
Yeah, so he's on provisional pole. If we get the times up soon, you'll see how close they are, and that's of course due to it being on an oval. Ashley Sutton's provisional pole time 29.0. The whole field actually is covered by less than a second, which is quite something on an oval. And from Colin Cunniff in 4th down to Dan Craft in 14th is covered by less than a tenth of a second as well. Those are the fine margins.
It's about half a second, and there's quite a drop off actually from about 30 seconds. That's where the gaps start to become quite sizable. Yeah, with the top 30, really 0.3 of a second separate those. So that's kind of what you would, I think, you'd be expecting to see. So the way the Kia is with the draft, you're certainly going to be able to make up that kind of a loss. So really, it's all about trying to work your way through the traffic throughout the race and see what you can do, because I think everybody's got an opportunity here, especially if there's a big crash that takes a bunch of cars out towards the front, you know?
And of course we're running 4 races tonight, and they're short distances, so we won't be seeing tyre wear being too much of a factor on this abrasive surface.
No, it is hot. Looking at we saw the track guide that come up earlier on. Temperature is pretty high out there, and I think it will have an effect. Of course, the front right and the rear right will take a bit of a pounding around here, so there won't be anything going on with the left side of it. So with it constantly being on that side of the car, I think we might see a little bit of wear, but I think, like you say, race is going to be short enough that it's not going to be a major factor.
And of course 4 races tonight, 30 laps each. Well, we're coming to the end of the qualifying session. Let's run you through then the starting grid for this race, the first race of the night. Ashley Sutton is on pole position after taking that podium, as we said, at the BTCC race meeting last week. Jamie Rushworth alongside him on the front row. Jamie Rushworth does tend to run well around these oval racetracks. Jamie Fluke in 3rd position, Colin Cunniff in 4th after running 13th in practice, so he's definitely leapt up the timing sheets there. Dan Hunt in 5th, Wojciech Savidovic in 6th, Ray Alfala, as we're saying, NASCAR Peak Anti-Free Series champion. He's up there inside the top 10 in 7th. Jerome Kaiser is in 8th, Michael Schauback 9th, Jack McIntyre rounding out the top 10. Stelin Chepelewski is in 11th with Michael Hall 12th and Kraft in 13th. 14th it is Simon Field, the championship leader. We'll see if he's able to advance his positions from there after being 6th in practice. Alex Malensky in 15th, 16th Matt Bunn, 17th Ben Hackerson, 18th George Simmons, 19th reigning series champion Sebastian Jobe, and in 20th it is Roy Ververke, 21st Clinton Bell, 22nd Philip Johansson, 23rd Julian Janowski, 24th John Roberts, 25th Richard Gore, the Pro-Am Series leader, 26th Kip Stevens, 27th Pete Newman, 28th it is Paul Smith, 29th Laura Bond, rounding out the 30 cars it is Craig Evans, 31st Rob Graham, 32nd Nick McCarron, 33rd Jay Wright, 34th Liam Atkins, 35th Scott Malcolm, 36th Stuart Atkinson, 37th Andrew Whitehead, and the cars that did not set a lap time, most likely due to penalties that are being carried over from Brands Hatch. Andreas Katz will be starting in 38th place, and that was the series runner-up there. And then Rob Plumley, 39th, Ross Balfour in 40th, 41st will be Steve Hefferden, starting right at the back, Alex, will be Rob Fagg.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's an oval, but when you're 0.3 off of pole position and you're 30th,
yeah, it's definitely a bit crushing, isn't it?
I was about to say, surely you just want to find a wall and just bury your head into it, because that's not an awful lot of time lost there, and these cars aren't like running on an actual oval car as well, so where you expect to see them so close, where those margins come down to the setup or anything like that. There's still lots that can go wrong, and tricky front wheel drives as well, so it gives it a little bit of a challenge. So
yes, so front wheel drive, I've been seeing some of the cars understeering wide on the exit of turn 4 into that barrier, so that'll be definitely something to watch, especially if tyres actually do come into their own in the closing stages of the race. So we're about to begin the formation lap, which is what happens here on oval racing, and then at the end of this lap the safety car at the front of the field will pull into the pits, and then the green flag will wave, and then we'll get the 30 laps underway.
That's a great shot right there as well, just all the cars lined up like that. If you ever wanted a sort of a show of what this series is all about, well, right there you have road races. It's fair to say road races, and there's 42 of them. No, 42, 43? 43 of them out there right now. Yeah, on an oval track, which most would normally sort of, spit about and things like that. But this series still manages to get a full grid on there. So Yeah, what a shot. And yeah, what a series.
BSRTC's become so popular, actually turning drivers away for this race meeting tonight. We all have bigger grid spots at the next race meeting if you want to get involved, which will be at, have a look at the calendar, which will be at Donington, the National Circuit, next week. In fact, we'll have 51 cars available, 51 grid spots available, and if you want to get involved in the championship, head over to BritishSimRacers.com and join iRacing. We'll mention that as more of that as well as the night progresses. And Ashley Sutton then at the front of this pack. Alongside him, his race up with CQR teammate Jamie Rushworth, Jamie Fluke in third, Colin Cunniff in fourth, and Dan Hunt in fifth. Here we go then. Race 13 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, powered by iRacing, is underway. Ashley Sutton leads him across the line. 2x2 will be into the first corner, and straight away Jamie Rushworth tucks underneath him, because even though you can go too wide on that high line, Alex, you want to stay in the slipstream and get that run.
Yeah, I think those two will want to work together just a little bit for the first few laps, see if they can get away. Jamie Fluke having a little look as well. Of course, he's worked with Jamie Rushworth last season as well, so they'll know each other pretty well out there. There's a little battle going on out down the back. In fact, there's lots of little battles going on. A few people with drive-through penalties as well. They're having to serve them. That's going to put them almost a lap down by the time they're around. So just the way the point system works, of course, 2 laps down and you don't score points. So that's a big deal for this circuit.
Ray Alfala already coming under pressure. He started in 7th place, already lost the position to, I think it's Jerome Kaiser, and now he's come under pressure from his own team, which is the Alfala Tech team, of course, and Michael Schalbach going side by side with him down the front straight into turn 1. We'll see how the outside line works. Of course, turns 1 and 2, completely different to turns 3 and 4 here at Phoenix, and a change for the lead. Ashley Sutton has gone out wide, Alex. I don't know whether he's made any contact with the wall. However, he's lost a ton of positions, and now Jamie Fluke is going for the lead with Jamie Rushworth heading into turn 3. Former teammates, of course.
Yeah, problem for the leader then, so not really sure what that is. Doesn't look like, now that he's got his momentum back up, he's up and away, but like you say, Fluke having a look on the inside of Rushworth here. They're going to be side by side. Rushworth's going to have a much better exit, but Jamie looked like he picked up the gas pretty early as well. That is. God, that's going to be confusing, isn't it? If they stay like this for the rest of the race.
The two Jamies going at it. Just had a look back at what happened to Sutton, who's already fighting his way back through. He just got out of shape on the entry into turn 1. Alex Scott, maybe I wonder if that was cold tyres or anything. Of course, it is hot here in the desert, but he did lose control of the car, and that's what lost him the positions. Down the inside goes Jamie Fluke, and so does Ashley Sutton on Wojciech Savidovic. Those two have had some good battles over the years, and Jamie Rushworth still able to hold on in front of Jamie Fluke, the Winter Series champion, of course, just a few months ago. Heading into turn 3 and 4 then, Sutton still side by side with Savidovic. Has he got it done? I think he has. And Alex, I think it's much harder to run side by side through turn 3 and 4 as opposed to turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Wojciech had a great run there. For a moment I thought he was going to actually have a look down the inside, but Ash covers it off sensibly. I don't think he was actually having a look at Colin Cunniff, and Cunniff's closed in on the back of the Apex Academy car there as well. So Friction Racing trying to move forward once again. Oh, he just leaves a little bit of a gap open for Sutton there, and Sutton doesn't need a second invitation, that's for sure, and puts it straight alongside. Colin runs a little bit wide. I don't know if he scraped the wall there, but doesn't seem to have lost any momentum. Oh, Wojciech perhaps thought about just sticking his nose in the middle for a second, but yeah, pulls out of that one as well.
So 2x2, we saw that last season. Fluke just slots back behind the race-up car of Jamie Rushworth, but Ashley Sutton, he's going for an overtake a lap here. Down the inside he goes once again on lap 7 of 30 now. Down the inside of Colin Cunniff. Cunniff trying to hold his line round the outside. Oh, he gets into the wall and hits Sutton.
That time.
And of course that is concrete. They just missed the end of what is the safer barrier, which is an extra line of protection used in NASCAR racing to soak up huge incidents. And now Colin Cunniff's lost out to Savidovic, and looks like he's going to come under pressure from Jerome Kaiser as well, heading into turn 3.
Yeah, just going to put our attention back a little bit further. Championship leader Simon Field and Dan Hunt having a right old battle here. Field just about moved his way through. Hunt was closely followed by Chepalewski as well, and Jack McIntyre there. So there's a lot of battles going on. Philip Johansson and Sebastian Job there side by side going into turn 1 as well. Job also having a look on Hull, and it looks like we lose. Oh,
yeah, big incident. Ben Hackerson and an Alphalatech car, number 5. I think that might be Stelian Chepelevsky, and he's gone. Yeah. No, it's not Stelian Chepelevsky. I do apologise. It's the other one. It's Dan Hunt. Dan Hunt's been involved, and yeah, it looked like the Alphalatech car was already out of shape off of turn 2, Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to see if we can not get that back on a replay there, because.
Let's have a look. Dan Hunt. Yeah, he's heading off a turn 2 now. Yeah, it's similar to Ashley Sutton, Alex. He gets out of control into turn 1, trying to wrestle with the car to get it back, and then unfortunately spins the car around, and poor Ben Hackerson in that eclectic motorsport car just collects him.
Yeah, you're right. Just back in, just come around. So, and the yeah, only the 2 cars there actually. Everybody else managed to get through that. You can see everybody scrambling to try and avoid the incident though. So, yeah, brilliant.
Back at the front then. Ashley Sutton and Savidovic still going at it, but Fluke gives Sutton a bit of an opening heading into turns 3 and 4. Still no way through, and Savidovic going around the outside. Is it going to be enough room? He brushes in, hits his teammate Jerome Kaiser. There's nowhere to go, and into the back of him. Doesn't sustain too much damage, but that's going to allow Ray Alfala, who's gained a ton of positions the last few laps. He's now fighting for what is 5th position with Jerome Kaiser off of turn 2, and not often you're racing away with a NASCAR Peak Anti-Free Series champion, and Ray Alfala better watch his mirrors, because he's got his own team. Which is Alphalatech. Michael Schellbach trying to get past him into turns 3 and 4. Michael Schellbach seems to do well at these oval racetracks, and he's doing well again tonight with the friction racing car. Simon Field now getting in and getting involved in the action off of turn 4. Across the line onto lap 13 now. Still back at the front though, Sutton. His comeback continues. He's down the inside of Jamie Fluke off of turn 2, but Fluke's going to get the run. But look in the background, Alex, 3 wide there. Ray Alfala trying to get past Simon Field. He's managed to get past both Ray Alfala and Michael Schellbach.
Yeah, crazy, great driving actually from Field. I just really couldn't see how he was going to get by either of them, but to get by both, that's a top job. And I think Schellbach's just worried about hitting his the team boss effectively, or the main sponsor. Don't want to upset the sponsor, do you? Fluke gets a great run off the exit there and manages to pull clear once again of Sutton. So yeah, not so easy. Runs a little bit deep. He's just a little bit looking in his mirrors now, what's going on behind, rather than focusing on Rushworth ahead. So he knows he needs to get a move done on Jamie quickly. If he can clear Rushworth, then he's going to be under a little bit less pressure from Sutton.
He's got an overlap just off of turn 2. We'll see if he's able to stick with him down the back straight towards turn 3, which isn't really straight in the slightest. Into turns 3 and 4, hard on the brakes. He's got alongside the race up with CQR car of Jamie Rushworth, but Rushworth's going to try and hang it out around the outside. There is grip out there. We've seen it all so far tonight. And he's just able to hold on, but the gap is getting much closer, and Fluke's going to have another go at it into turns 1, and look at Savidovic coming out of nowhere, and he hits Sutton. Unbelievable. Sutton into the safer barrier. Is he just going to avoid contact with it? Yes, he does. He's going to be a huge speed disadvantage, and thankfully no one hits him. Look at this though, 3 wide, Simon Field, Savidovic and Kaiser, and Simon Field's going to be the main beneficiary out of this. He's got past both the Eurochip digital cars, and it's up into the podium places.
We were talking that Field needs podium places, win that championship, but he's got no points on the board for the showdown. So, get on that podium, that's where they are. So he'll need to hold on, he'll need to fight for everything here. But Savidovic already coming back at him as well, gets a little bit, tries to pick up the gas a bit too early. You saw him literally get out of it halfway through the corner there, and that's let Field just get clear.
Tell you what, this has allowed Fluke and Rushworth to break away on their own. We'll see if they're able to get back to them. But yeah, Simon Field third now. Wojciech Savidovic 4th, Jerome Kaiser 5th. 6th, it is Ray Alfala. 7th, Michael Schellbach, who's fighting side by side with Jack McIntyre, who's come out of nowhere. But yeah, these lot battling away, and then it's George Simmons side by side of friction racing car. That's Ashley Sutton trying to get back past Stelian Chepelevsky and Dan Kraft.
It's 5 drivers right now that will be taken away, that they've beat, Mr. 2 times peak anti-freeze series champion on an oval fair and square right now. 13 laps to go for Mr. Alfala to cut that number down.
Let's see if Ray can advance himself any further up the field. He's now trying to get past Jerome Kaiser then off of turn 2.
Kaiser into the wall.
Yeah. Just got a bit wide there. I think he just had a little bit of a tap with the safer barrier. Seems to have got away with it. Down the inside goes Ray though. Ray Alfala, the NASCAR Peak Anti-Free Series champion, into turns 3 and 4. Kaiser still going with him though on the exit of turn 4. Is he going to avoid the wall? He does. There's just enough space for him to carry on, and Sharon Kaiser's just able to carry on without Ray Alfala getting back past. But still, Shell back in the mirrors, as is Jack McIntyre. We've got just over 10 laps to go now in this first race of the evening. Seen plenty of action on the track here tonight. Apologies if there's some action going on further down the field, but we're focusing on what's going on at the front, because Jamie Fluke is now going down the inside of Jamie Rushworth for the lead. Is he going to be able to maintain it though on the inside line? Rushworth carries the speed around the outside so well. He's done that brilliantly so far tonight. We're inside of 10 laps to go then in this first race of the night, and Simon Field and Savidovic are on the prowl, and Savidovic actually is going down the inside of Simon Field off a turn 2. No way through though.
Got back markers coming up as well. You have to feel that's going to come into play. 10 laps time. Are they going to close in on those? They might well do.
Alfala's just been hit by Shellback. There was
runs him out wide.
No respect there for his team boss, but now Shellback's going side by side with Kaiser, so they're all taking it in turns to try and have a go at getting past Jerome Kaiser here, and they haven't been too successful yet. Shellback down the inside into turn 1 and 2. On the exit of the corner, Kaiser's going to run out wide as he does. There's a back marker just on the inside line there. It's Ross Balfour. He's giving them plenty of space. In fact, he's on the grass into turn 3 and 4. Oh, and Shellback hits Kaiser. He's done that to 2 different cars now on 2 different laps, and that is Shellback through inside the top 5. Sharon Kaiser now dropping down to 8th place, elevating Ray Alfala, and I think was that Jack McIntyre up a position as well.
Indeed, yep. Getting pretty tasty ahead as well. Wojciech closing in on Field. Field is right on Fluke's tail as well, and those two just had a couple of laps battling, and it's just closed this pack all the way back up again. So yeah, 8 laps to go. It looks like it's very, very difficult to get a move done when there's not a great deal of difference in sort of talent levels out there.
Yeah, lap times last time around, Rushworth and Fluke were doing 29.7s as opposed to Field and Savidovic, who were doing 29.5s and 6s. Simon Field, once again, the only driver in the top 4 to do a 29.5. Lap 24 then of 30. Simon Field's now going for Fluke.
Yeah, just having a little look back as well. Colin Cunniff a bit further back, side by side. Richard Gore as well, also involved in a battle. John Roberts, that's a great little gaggle there as well. That's 15th, 16th, 17th. Chepalewski as well, having a look. Right, let's get back up to the front. Sorry, just trying to fill people in a little bit with what's going on further back.
Yeah, Sutton's on the move as well. He was side by side with George Simmons, but yeah, no change at the front as of yet. We've got these 2 packs here, 2 cars of 4. We've got the front 4 there of Rushworth, Fluke, Field, and Savidovic, and then we've got this battle for what is 5th place, which is Michael Shellback, Jack McIntyre, Ray Alfala, and then Kaiser on his own with Simmons and Sutton. Then on to lap 26 of 30. Rushworth just goes a little bit wide into turns 1, trying to get the run off of turn 2 though, which is what he's been doing all night. Fluke, no, not close enough yet. Wonder if he'll have a lunge. Of course, he might be just trying to save the car for the final lap to have a real go at the race up car. To be fair for Jamie Rushworth, it hasn't been a good start to the season. Been involved in collisions at Phillip Island.
Simmons and Sutton having a little battle here as well. Simmons in the Eclectic Motorsport car right now, under a lot of pressure. Sure he's going to be able to hold on to that. Oh, side by side, a little bit of contact there as well. They carry on as they are, but that has opened the door for Kraft. Surely he's going to get a run on Sutton this time, round the outside. Seems to be almost a preferred line. You carry that much more momentum out of the corner if you can just stay alongside, and he can. 4 laps to go. We'll get back to that lead battle in just a second. Let's see if Kraft can get a move done. No, he can't.
Yeah, but he is close. He will have a look into turn 1, but yeah, here's the battle at the front, and it seems to have gone a bit wild. That's a race up car, but it's not the one at the front. It's an Automech car. I do apologise, just being lapped. But now Simon Field's right on the back of Jamie Fluke into turns 3 and 4. He's going for it down the inside, and I wonder if Jamie Fluke will have much of an apply. No, he doesn't. He goes out wide, but he will have the run on the exit though. He does come back here, and that's something we've been seeing so far on this Phoenix International Raceway tonight. Rushworth had a bit of a bad run off of turn 4 as well, so he's now got involved in this battle for 2nd place. Off of turn 2 then, lap 29, 2 laps to go here. It looks like it's Fluke versus Field for seconds. Jamie Rushworth might use this as an opportunity to get away here, and Savinovic just watching in 4th, hoping that these two take each other off and gets himself a podium and maybe even better, a race win. Off of into turns 3 and 4 we go, onto the final lap of the race.
Field into the wall pretty heavily there. I can see Savinovic coming up the inside. He's to the left. We're just on board with Field right now. He has to leave the room for Wojciech there, and that's it. He's through.
I thought Rushworth was gone then, but he's back. He just had a little bit of a blink, but it looks like he might have just a bit enough to defend from Jamie Fluke into turns 3 and 4. I think he has, yes he has, and off of turns 4 he goes. Jamie Rushworth for Race Hub with CQR will take race 13 at the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, powered by iRacing. 2nd Jamie Fluke, 3rd Wojciech Savinovic, 4th for Simon Field in the end, 5th Michael Schellbach, 6th Jack McIntyre, 7th for Ray Alfala, 8th Sharon Kaiser, 9th George Simmons, and in 10th position our pole sitter Ashley Sutton.
There's a good little battle there, 24th, 25th and 26th, Cunniff, Faverki and Smith. A lot of little individual battles going across as they screamed across the line. Just fortunately we didn't catch them all. Wow, that was a great race. Adam thoroughly enjoyed that as well. Really didn't know where that was going to end up at all. But yeah, Rushworth holds on really from the very pretty much from the get-go. He got into the lead and just never looked back.
A typical oval race here in that first race. You'd never know what's going to happen until that checkered flag on the last lap of the race. So yeah, Jamie Rushworth takes the victory. That will do wonders for his championship. He is 15th in the points going into this race meeting after having a pretty good race meeting at Brands Hatch. Leapt up 16 positions after that race meeting, and I'm sure this win will help him tremendously as well. Jamie Fluke in 2nd place, chasing him all the way to the end. Wojciech Savinovic from 6th to 3rd, so he's had an exciting race, fighting his way through those positions inside the top 10. Simon Field in 4th has had a really entertaining race, 14th to 4th. 5th Michael Schellbach from 9th on the grid, 6th for Jack McIntyre, 7th Ray Alfala, consistent there, started 7th and finished 7th. 8th Jerome Kaiser, 9th George Simmons, and rounding up the top 10 was our pole sitter Ashley Sutton, who had 2 minor errors during the race. 11th Dan Kraft, 12th Stelin Chepelevsky, 13th Alex Malensky, 14th Philip Johansson, 15th was Sebastian Job, who had been involved in battles throughout the race tonight. Michael Schellbach in 16th, 17th Julian Janowski, 18th John Roberts, 19th was Clinton Bell, and rounding out the top 20 was Kip Stevens. 21st was Matt Bunn, 22nd Pete Newman, 23rd Richard Gore, the Pro-Am Series leader, 24th Colin Cunniff, 25th Roy Vaverki, 26th Paul Smith, 27th Nick McCarran, 28th Craig McLeod-Evans, 29th Laura Bond, and 30th was Liam Atkins, 31st Stuart Atkinson, and then the cars were 1 lap down or more. Scott Malcolm 32nd, 33rd Rob Plumley, 34th Andreas Katz after not setting that time in qualifying. I wonder if he had a penalty to serve in the race as well. 35th Steve Hefford, 36th Ross Balfour, 37th Rob Graham, 38th Andrew Whitehead, 39th Jay Wright, 40th Rob Fagg, and then Dan Hunt and Ben Hackerson were involved in contact very early on. But who was a top am in this race? I think it was, if I scroll through, I think it was it John Roberts?
I think it was John Roberts, yeah.
Yeah, so John Roberts, who finished in 18th place, was the highest Pro-Am driver in the championship. He is in 9th place in the Pro-Am standings, so we'll see if he leaps up any positions after this race. But yeah, Alex, great first race, and with the reverse grid that will be coming up shortly, it's going to be even greater when we see the next race.
Yeah, I'm sure the next race will be a whole load of fun. Just those people that wondering what's coming up next. There's 3 more races to go tonight. Don't go anywhere. We've got a reverse grid. We're going to bring the Wheel of Fortune up at the minute. Give that a spin and see who's going to get pole position. So, whole load of fun. If you thought that one was a great race and exciting, you enjoyed watching that, wait till you see the whole grid get reversed around so that there's crazy battles going on everywhere. A whole load more fun. Right, Adam, I think we might as well go to it.
Yeah, so 16 down to 26, and if we have a full, we'll put Stuart Atkinson, who's in 31st, onto pole position. Actually, if we include the cars that are 1 lap down, that'll be 35. So Steve Hefford actually will be on pole position for race 2. So we'll run you through the contenders. Michael Hall, Julian Janowski, John Roberts, Clinton Bell, Kip Stevens, Matthew Bunn, Pete Newman, Richard Gore, Colin Cunniff, Roy Ververke, Paul Smith, and as I said, if there was a fall, it will be Steve Hefford will be on pole position. So Alex, who's going to be on pole for race 14 of the championship?
Here we go then, first time tonight. Who will pick it up? Oh, what do we want? What are we hoping for?
Let's have a fall. We haven't had one yet this season, I don't think.
We always want full. Oh, it's close, but no cigar. Oh, it's gonna make. Oh, just. Oh, we got a really small one. It was so close to full, but we ended up on 17 instead.
So Julian Janowski, you had a good Winter Series championship. It's going to be reversed onto pole position. Michael Hall in second, Sebastian Job in third, Philip Johansson fourth, and Alex Smolensky in fifth. So it'll be interesting to see if those guys at the front can fight their way back through, because Simon Field finished fourth. He started 14th, which isn't too far away from the number that we drew out for the reverse grid. So expect to see those guys right at the front in race 2, Alex.
Yeah, I think it's such a small grid, actually, the reverse grid. I think it's going to be difficult for anybody to really move their way forward here. So this could be really exciting. I think people might get a little bit impatient out there as well. We saw one crash, really, that was it. I think we might see a few more, just with people just trying to lunge it up the inside and push a few people wide if they can.
And as Alex said, of course, we've got 3 more races tonight, and I think the patience will be getting more and more thin as the night progresses. Well, we're going to step aside for just a few moments here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and on Motors TV, but we'll be back in a few moments' time for race 14 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing. Do not go anywhere.
I'm Eric Hudek. I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with a manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
Welcome back to the Phoenix International Raceway, and welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. This is race 14 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing, and it is now in the middle of the day and we're getting ready for the second race of the evening. 17 cars have been reversed, and that will mean Julian Janowski is on the pole position for the second race of the evening. Adam Bath here once again with iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. And Alex, great first race, and as we said before the break, the second race is no doubt going to be just as good, if not better.
Yeah, hugely enjoyable first race for the evening. Really looking forward to this one as well. Small grid, so I think there'll be a few elbows out in this one, trying to get some places. So who knows what that could cause? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch those guys try and fight their way back. So Pulse has got Jamie's got to move through 17 spots, 16 spots even. So to get back to the front, it's going to be a tall order for him.
Championship hasn't changed much since the first race. Simon Field's gap ahead of Wojciech Sawicz has only gone down by 2 as Matt Bunn goes for a spin down the front straight. Richard Gore still in third. The big movers really, Jamie Rushworth's up 3 positions after his win in race 1, up to 12 in the points, and Ben Hackerson, after his no score in the first race, has dropped down 6 positions. As is David Baker, who I don't think is actually racing this race meeting, is he, Alex? I haven't seen him make a notable appearance in the first race, but we'll see if he can do so in the second. He is usually the king of consistency in this championship, of course. Yeah,
and I don't see him on the racetrack either, so yeah, obviously one that he's gonna have to drop, unfortunately.
No drop scores, unfortunately, in the BSR TC, so hopefully that doesn't need to affect him too much. It didn't seem to affect Sebastian Job missing the first few race meetings last season. He still managed to go on and win the title, and of course over 130 or so races this season, so plenty of ground to make up. And time to make that ground up, in fact. So we're just about to head down to the grid. As always, oval racing, as we saw in the first race, a rolling start and a pace lap to begin. And let's have a look at the starting grid. Julian Janowski is on the pole position. Michael Hall second. Sebastian Job is in third. Philip Johansson is in fourth. Fifth is Alex Malensky. Sixth, Stelian Chepelewski. 7th, Dan Kraft. 8th, Ashley Sutton. 9th, George Simmons. And rounding out the top 10 is Jerome Kaiser. 11th, Ray Alfala, after having a pretty good first race. 12th, Jack McIntyre. 13th, Michael Scharbach. 14th, Simon Field. 15th, Wojciech Sawicz. 16th, Jamie Fluke. 17th, our race 1 winner, Jamie Rushworth. 18th, John Roberts, who was the leading Pro-Am driver in race 1. 19th, Clinton Bell, and 20th it is Kip Stevens. 21st, Matt Bunn. 22nd, Pete Newman. 23rd, Richard Gore. 24th, Colin Cunniff. 25th, Roy Ververke. 26th it is Paul Smith. 27th, Nick McCarron. 28th, Craig Evans. 29th, Laura Bond, and rounding out the 30 cars it is Liam Atkins. 31st, Stuart Atkinson. 32nd, Scott Malcolm. 33rd, Rob Plumley. 34th, Andreas Katz. 35th, Steve Hefford. 36th it is Ross Balfour. 37th, Rob Graham. 38th, Andrew Whitehead. 39th, Jay Wright. 40th, Rob Fagg, who didn't have a good first race at all. 41st, Dan Hunt, who was involved in a collision with Ben Hackerson, who starts 42nd. And those are your cars that will be starting race 14 of the season. And 30 laps will be racing, 30 more laps of racing here at Phoenix.
Just getting word that Dave's got his priorities right, and he's on the ski slopes. So, can't say. What can you say?
Yeah, lucky for some. Yeah, ski safe. David Baker will see you at the next race meeting, Donington Park, actually next week. So then, Alex, Julian Janowski on the pole position, Sebastian Job in third on the grid, but I still can't pick a winner out of any of those cars in the top 5.
I mean, you would normally say, Seb would be there, but he seemed to struggle in that first race. Couldn't really make any places, just not had the pace in practice or in queue. So it's going to be difficult. Like you say, any of those top 5, 6 could do it. Maybe one of the guys will come through from the back. Here we go.
And race 14 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway, and look at all this, it's very frenzy into turn 1. 3 wide already, and Ashley Sutton, Stelian Chepelewski, and who's that, Alex Malensky getting involved in a little bit of contact. 4 wide in some places off of turn 2. This is a much more frantic start than we saw in race 1. Crash, the leaders have crashed into turn 3. Sebastian Job, Michael Schellbach, Oh, it didn't take long for the carnage to rain down on Phoenix International Raceway. Who's leading? It is Dan Kraft, I think. No, it's not. It's one of the race-up cars. It's Michael Hall now leading. Second, it is now Ashley Sutton. So he didn't take long for him to get up to the front. Third, or second, fighting for second, it is Philip Johansson. And then Dan Kraft, Stelin Chepelevsky, Fluke, Smolensky, Simmons and Ray Alfala.
Just watching a replay back of the incident at the front, because I didn't see what happened at the front because I was watching a much larger crash that was further back. So, yeah, wow.
So one of the Alpha Tech cars, yeah, it was Shellback, wasn't it? Shellback in 13th place. It looks like he survived without too much damage to his car. Just going to look back and see how the crash came about.
Yeah, I mean, it just looked as if actually it was the leader's sort of little incident that
it's Janowski, apologise, it's not Michael Shellback. What I'm talking about is Janowski, of course, into turn 3, and does he just come up to Sebastian Joe?
Yeah, it just looked like he got his line wrong there and just drifted out, got on the gas a bit too early and just straight up into the wall there, just nowhere to go, and yeah, the rest is history, as we say. Carnage unfolds behind. Sutton in the lead. Wow.
Yes. So Ashley Sutton then, where did he start on the grid? 8th, up to 1st, after one lap. Michael Hall 2nd, 3rd, Philip Johansson, who's now coming under pressure from Dan Kraft, who was running around outside the top 10 during that first race, and Stelin Chepelevsky and Jamie Fluke.
Just as the questions come in, I'll bring it up actually. Someone just asked, how do you join the series? What you need to do is head over to BritishSimRacers.com. All the information on the series is there. And you can also jump in on the Facebook group as well. I'm sure someone can give you an invite, but again, it's British Sim Racing Touring Car Championship, I think, is the group that they need to search for as well. Or head over to Mumble and ask Kip Stevens. He'll get yourself sorted out. Drop him a PM and you can get involved in the racing pretty much from next week. There's always some sort of reserve spots available, although that said, people do get the grid spots allocated pretty quickly, it's fair to say.
Yes.
While we're also talking about joining, don't forget you can also, of course, if you're new to this service, you don't know what it is you're watching, well, this is iRacing.com, and you can sign up and become a member of iRacing very, very simply. Just head on over to iRacing.com. Use the promotion code in the bottom of the video, which is PR-BSRTC, and you can get 3 months for the price of one. All you need is a straightforward wheel or pedal set or some sort of controller pad, and you can get up and running very, very quickly.
Michael Hall just getting out of shape into turn 3, thanks for that, Alex, and now he's lost just a few positions, well, quite a few positions actually, now coming under pressure from Ray Alfala into turns 1 and 2. Ashley Sutton has really just gone away, really, 1 second in front of Dan Kraft. Alfala still in there, and that collective motorsport car just behind them nearly went into the safer barrier on the exit of turn 2. Into turn 3 they go. Ray Alfala trying to go around the outside of the Alfala Tech car of Stelin Chepelevsky there. Ray Alfala trying to wrestle that 5th place away from Chepelevsky. Off of turn 4, Chepelevsky got a win last season on the oval at Daytona at the end of the season, trying to hold off the 2-time NASCAR Peak Anti-Free Series champion, and in front of them Philip Johansson and Jamie Fluke, who's now in 3rd place after finishing in 2nd in race 1, trying to get past the friction racing car of Dan Kraft into turn 3. So action everywhere you look. Is he just going to be alongside enough to get anything done, Jamie Fluke? It's going to be close, but I think he's just not close enough to get that overlap on the friction racing car.
Yeah, just on board with Johansson, watching that battle unfold. As Fluke has a dive up the inside, Johansson has to go a little bit wide there. I think that was Alfala coming up the inside actually, out of nowhere. So thought he was tucked up behind Chepelevsky, but apparently not. Ray wants a little piece of this action this time, and he's made his way up there. He's right on the tails of the leaders. Surely he senses an opportunity to get his first win in the BSRTC.
We saw Ray Alfala at the opening race meeting of the season at Phillip Island. Haven't seen him since then at Watkins Glen and Brands Hatch, but it's good to see him back here and running well at the Phoenix International Raceway, and he's just on the outskirts of the podium. Change position there. Wojciech Savidovic and Alex Smolensky going at it. Sim Racer versus Eurochip Digital. This is all in that main group that's fighting inside the top 10, and Ray and Jamie Fluke looking this way and that, trying to get past Dan Kraft into turns 3 and 4 on the Alpha Tech car there. Of Stelin Chepelevsky trying to get past Filip Johansson. He's got an overlap, and also Wojciech Savidovic having to go on the defensive. So there's so much action to look at inside the top 10 here, just not at the front, with Ashley Sutton 1.7 seconds ahead. Here comes the Eclectic Motorsport car swooping around the outside. That is George Simmons, and he's just got past the sim racer car Alex Smolensky. So Smolensky now down to 10th. Dan Hunt, by the way, is on his contact, Alex.
Yeah, just same bit I think that we were watching there as well. Simmons just carried a lot of momentum out of there as well, and it looked like Savidovic just had to have a little check-up because of Hall in front of him, and yeah, just caught Simmons out there. And all of a sudden Simmons is under pressure from McIntyre as well. McIntyre having a great outing so far tonight.
Rail Fowler trying to get on the podium. I'll just quickly run you through the cars in the pits. Some big names in there, in fact. Ross Balfour, Sebastian Job, Julian Janowski, Paul Smith in the pits as well, as are Simon Field, our championship leader, and Jerome Kaiser. They were involved in contact a few laps ago. I don't know what happened. We'll take a look back at the end of the race. But free wide into turn 1 between Fluke, Kraft and Al Fowler. Al Fowler with his NASCAR experience getting out of that pretty quickly. But now he's going to do another typical NASCAR style move, which is bump drafting. And he's bump drafting the Apex Racing car of Jamie Fluke down the back straight in towards turn 3. Is he going to try and cut to the inside to get the move done? No, because Jamie Fluke is blocking the inside line, and now he's stuck behind Dan Kraft, but he's going to push Dan Kraft, Alex, off the exit of turn 4, and it might help him get past Jamie Fluke here.
He needs to push down. It's the only way he's going to clear him as well. He needs to give the two of them needs to work together, just to run around the top and clear Fluke. Right now, Jamie's trying desperately to hold on to the current position and also get a run on Kraft, and Ray's just making that so much harder for Fluke out there.
Into turns 3 and 4 then on lap 15, half race distance in this second race of the night, and Fluke is just clear of Ray off of turn 4, and Filip Johansson nearly got turned into the wall there by the Alfa Tech car, who's now going down the inside. That is Stelin Chepelevsky down the inside of Filip Johansson, but as we've seen all the way through tonight's broadcast, Filip Johansson is able to get the run on the outside and able to pull back alongside, and if not clear of the car in front. Here comes Ray again into turns 3 and 4 round the outside of the Apex Racing car. Fluke will still keep the car on the inside, but I think Ray might have got the job done here off of turn 4. He is just clear, but I think Fluke will get the slipstream. No, he won't. He cuts behind the Sim Racer car. Now Ray's wasting no time, Alex. He's now setting to work on Dan Kraft off of turn 2.
Oh, they're so close there as well, but we've seen how difficult it is to get the move done on the inside. It's just don't quite carry the speed out of the corner, and Ray's now put himself in a position where Fluke could probably do exactly the same that he just did to him, which is keep him pinched down low, keep him keep him bottled up, and try and work with Dan to see if he can get past. Although Ray again very deep into the first turn there, just trying to carry that extra speed in there. He can't clear Kraft, sorry.
Speaking of Dan Hunt, he's up to 23rd on the grid, 23rd in the race after starting all the way down in what was 41st. So fantastic comeback there by Dan Hunt. But yeah, this battle for the runners-up spot continues, and Al Fowler is now going for it.
Sorry, Johansson losing a place to Savidovic as well. Savidovic through, and I think Chepelevsky wants to go through. We're keeping an eye on what Ray's doing too. Still can't quite get the run to get through. Oh, there's some contact further back as well. I heard that.
So that's Simmons, I think. He might have brushed the wall on the exit of turn 2. Into turns 3 and 4, 3 wide, and having to get past the Auto Mech car. That's Scott Malcolm, who seems to have had a lot of problems in these first 2 races tonight off of turn 4.
That might just be enough for Ray. He's as far as alongside as he's ever been going into turn 1. No, he still can't carry enough speed. Savidovic getting in on the action. He wants to follow Ray past Fluke now.
So it didn't take long for the guys that were running at the front in race 1 to get to the front here in race 2, of course, thanks to the shorter reverse grid, and thanks, of course, to the leaders taking each other out at the start of the race.
Ray having a change up of just approach here. I think he's going to try and force Kraft down low if he gets an opportunity. So he's got to be careful though. Savidovic is going to come in there really, really quickly. Here's the opportunity to run around the outside. Just can't quite get his car along the outside of Hump. But he's got a great bit of momentum coming out of that corner. Surely this time into 3 and 4.
Fluke had a harmless tap with the wall off a turn 4 last time around, but yeah, I think Ray's got the job done, has he? He's not going to go clear until the spotter says so, and Downcraft still has just a fraction of the car alongside into turns 1 and 2. Alfala trying to force him a bit high up the track, and Savinovic and Fluke are going to close in on these two. Off of turn 2 they go, perilously close to the outside wall, and now Jamie Fluke's going to make it 3 wide. Hold your breath, folks, this might not end well. And into turn 3 they go. Savinovic is now going to try and get past Jamie Fluke, and Ray just trying to force his nose in front off of turn 4, and now they're going to be 2 by 2 again across the line.
Yeah, this is a great battle. Can't look anywhere else right now, so I'm just waiting for Simmons to try and get up alongside Johansson, and we'll have a row of 3 cars too wide. They're scrambling there. I just thought for a minute that was going to get pretty messy, but somehow. There we go.
And it's Downcraft and it's Jamie Fluke, the Friction Racing car and the Apex Racing car. Thankfully, they're in a part of the racetrack where no one should hit them. Fingers crossed. But yeah, those 2 cars are big casualties there.
Yeah, McIntyre was out there as well, caught up in that. So, Ray's got some damage as well. Massive drift through turn 1. All of a sudden, Wojciech goes around the outside. Simmons is up the inside, and Simmons is into second. Wojciech trying to fight back to get that position, and does so. So
yeah, Ray Alfala then trying to get back past. He's down to 4th place now, trying to battle away with Smolensky on the exit. Across the line they go onto lap 25.
Further back you've got teammates of Shilback and Chepalewski hunting down Alexander Smolensky out there as well, so still a lot of battles going on. And we've got Pete Newman. We haven't seen much of Pete. Pete's having some issues going through turn number 1 as well, and that's Colin Cunniff's just gone around the outside of him.
Downcraft going slowly as the leaders go by him. He was fighting for a top 5 just a few moments ago, but it looks like his race has definitely reached its end. On to lap 26 then. It is now Ashley Sutton leading, Wojciech Savinovic second, George Simmons for Eclectic Motorsport up in 3rd, 4th Ray Alfala, 5th Philip Johansson, 6th it is Alex Smolensky, 7th Michael Shellback, 8th Stelin Chepalewski, who's coming under pressure from Michael Hall, and then it's rounding out the top 10 Andreas Katz with Nick McCarron in 11th. Andreas Katz, where did he start on the grid? He started 34th, up inside the top 10.
Yeah, very, very impressive from Katz there. 4 laps to go.
Here we go then, here comes Ray. He's going for it again into turns 1 and 2, lap 27. Just under 4 laps to go then. It took him so long to get past Jamie Fluke, and now he's going to have to try and work his way to get past George Simmons in the Eclectic Motorsport car. Eclectic Motorsport having a very good second race of the evening. Ashley Sutton, by the way, 3.5 seconds out in front. It looks like it's going to be a race hub double here, race 1 and race 2, if things are to go as expected then. On to lap 28.
Yeah, it's just, Ray got all the hard work done. He got past everyone, and I don't think he was caught up in any of that contact, was he? So, just a bit of an unforced error, really, going into turn 1 where he got the rear end all loose. Managed to save the car for the best part, but I bet he's kicking himself in there because he got all that hard work done up into second place and then just let it all slip away. Can he get it placed back up on the inside of Simmons? That looks like a great run as well. Back marker in front. Surely he can use that to his advantage and just keep him boxed in, although he goes very, very high. It's going to pinch just a little bit Simmons off the exit. He does, and yeah, that's surely going to let Ray get a clear run. It's not easy, still not easy.
It's turns 3 and 4. That's Laura Bond up there, and now she's into the wall in that Spicer Heart livery car, and yeah, she's just going to drop back now. But it is Ray Alfala through into the podium places, but for how long? Because here comes George Simmons on the inside into turns 1 and 2. We're on the final lap of the race here. What brilliant second race! A bit of a crash fest, more so compared to race 1. Ashley Sutton's just heading down the back straight now. It looks like he's about to take a victory here at Phillip Island, but it all looks settled, I think, in the battle for second. Ray Alfala is now in front of George Simmons. Philip Johansson's back there as well, but right off of turn 4 goes Ashley Sutton at race 14 at the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing. Goes to Ashley Sutton. Second in the end for Wojciech Savinovic. Third for Ray Alfala. I think that's his best finish in the BSR TC. Fourth for Philip Johansson in the end, ahead of George Simmons in fifth. Was that Johansson getting past Simmons then in the final few corners? Sixth was Michael Schalbach, seventh Smolenski, eighth Hall. Katz got to ninth in the end, with Shepelevsky in 10th.
A little battle between Plumley and Atkinson here as well, and it looks like Stewart gets that one.
Oh, it might have been Plumley, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, strange how the timing screen just not quite working right there. But yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, would it? And actually, I'm just hearing as well that actually Ray didn't make a mistake, so I need to retract that. We didn't quite see it because we were on board, but actually got a mere tap from behind, and that's what got him going. The old bump and run. Cheeky,
Yeah, let's have a by
cheeky
Savinovic.
we know, but you know, a tactic that is used quite heavily on the oval. So
Yeah.
Ray knows all about that, and yeah, he got him a treat. He did well to collect the car back up then and fight his way back up to third place.
And it was actually Wojciech Savinovic, the car that finished in front of him, that did it to him just after that contact that happened between Fluke and Kraft earlier on. So let's run you through the finishing order then from another brilliant race in the BSR TC, race 14 of the championship here at Phoenix. Ashley Sutton takes the win for Race Hub. Race Hub have so far taken all the wins tonight here at Phoenix. Savinovic in second for Eurochip Digital. Third, Ray Alfala doing a fantastic job there for Sim Racer. Philip Johansson, Engineers Direct, I think that's their highest finish in fourth. Fifth, George Simmons with Michael Schalbach in sixth. Seventh, Alex Smolenski. Eighth, Michael Hall. Ninth, Andreas Katz, as we said, from 34th on the grid. That's a fantastic comeback from him. And Stelian Shepelevsky in 10th. Clinton Bell is in 11th. Colin Cunniff finished in 12th. 13th for Matt Bunn. 14th, Pete Newman. 15th from 42nd on the grid for Ben Hackerson. 16th, Richard Gore. 17th, Craig Evans. 18th, Dan Hunt from 41st. 19th, Rob Fagg from 40th. And 20th, it is Jay Wright. So Dan Hunt and Rob Fagg, I think they were following each other through the pack as the race.
I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we were driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with a manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
in this place gonna party. You.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. We are here at Phoenix International Raceway getting set for the third race of the night, round 15 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing. 21 cars have been reversed and Robert Plumley is on the pole position for the third race of the night. Adam Bath here along with Alex Simpson. Alex, we've got the technical issues sorted and we're ready for the third race of the night.
Yeah, only just about as well. Thank you for our co-commentator. He might be ill, but he's still looking after us as well. So it's not blue screen of death, it's buttons that don't unclick and mute the microphones or unmute the microphones. So we've just been chatting away for 5 minutes to ourselves. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we saw two brilliant races. We'll probably talk about that later on, but it's now time to get ready for the third race of the night. Rob Plumley is on pole position, Jay Wright in second, third Rob Fagg, fourth Dan Hunt. This reverse grid's worked out brilliantly for him after having a nightmare race one. Fifth is Craig Evans, sixth Richard Gore, seventh Ben Hackerson, eighth Pete Newman, ninth is Matt Bunn. And rounding out the top 10 it's Colin Cunniff, 11th Clinton Bell, 12th Stelian Chepelevsky, 13th Andreas Katz, 14th Michael Hall, 15th Alex Smolensky, 16th Michael Shellback, 17th George Simmons, who had a great race too there for the Eclectic Motorsport, 18th Philip Johansson, 19th Ray Alfala, 20th Wojciech Savidovic and 21st our race 2 winner Ash Sutton. And we're running through the rest of the grid quickly because we're about to go green. Stu Atkinson 22nd, Whitehead 23rd, Stevens 24th, 25th Lorne Murray, 26th Scott Malcolm, 27th Laura Bond, 28th Dan Craft, 29th Jamie Fluke, 30th it is Jack McIntyre, and then the rest of the field consists of Graham, McCarran, Smith, Atkins, Kaiser, Rushworth, Field, Hefford, Ververke, Roberts, Janowski, and starting at the back, Sebastian Job and Ross Balfour.
It doesn't look like Seb's made it out.
No,
so
I think he received a receive throughput error, I think I saw.
It's unfortunate. It just seems like problems are afoot tonight. Here we go then, Rob Plumley getting ready to go take this one.
Here we go then, race 15 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway. Plumley leads him across the line, it's already too wide between Dan Hunt and the Eurochip Digital car there of Fagg going into turn 1. Fagg gets the position off of turn 2. Let's see what else is unfolding throughout the pack. We saw Crazy Racing off of turn 2 in race 2. Still 2x2 here, Alex, so not as crazy as the 4 wide action we saw off of turn 2 in the last race.
Yeah, a little bit hotter this time as well, so a little bit less grip, perhaps. A bit further back, that's Svidovic, Smolensky, Sutton's in and around there, Simmons as well. So our leading group from the last race just all getting pretty tasty already. So I think the job was following them around.
Sutton's just got past Svidovic, so he's able to leapfrog the cars that finished behind him in race 2, and he's already setting his sights on possibly another top 10 finish, if not a top 5 or even a podium here in race 3. Into turns 3 and 4 we go then on lap 2, side by side for second place between Dan Hunt and the Engine All Direct car of Jay Wright. Off the corner we go, and Dan Hunt's up to second place then, past the Engine All Direct car there, into turn 1 and 2. We're trying to go 3 wide there. The also met car of who was that? That was Ben. Apologise, it was the Automet car of Craig Evans going 3 wide now with the Apex Racing car of Richard Gore, Alex.
You haven't seen too much of Richard so far tonight, so he's got himself up and around there as well. Just trying to keep his nose clean.
And the Eclectic Motorsport car out high, trying to get the position. There's Ben Hackerson. Hackerson then 3 wide with Gorman Evans into turns 1 and 2. And Evans goes through the middle, able to get it done, but off the corner, Evans got stuck behind the Simpson racing car there of who was that? That was Pete Newman. So he had to get out the throttle, and that's allowed Hackerson to get back alongside.
God, we're just on board there. We switched to Craig as we were going into turn 3 there, and for a moment I thought he was going to run straight into the back of Rob Fagg, but manages to get the car stopped in time.
That's what the lead is starting to intensify. Already on lap 5, Dan Hunt's looking to the inside of Plumley off of turn 2. Plumley got very wide off of turn 2 there. Don't know whether he hit the wall at all, but he's continuing.
We're 3 wide further back in 2 places as well. This is some great racing out there. 3 wide, there's just cars absolutely everywhere right now. This is 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, wow, down to last.
They're using every single inch of this Phoenix International Raceway. 3 wide into turn 1 there. Matt Bunn in the CQR car involved with Philip Johansson and Clinton Bell in the Simpson Racing car. Off at turn 2 they go, and the Enginal Direct car trying to get back past alongside, and look at all these cars in front of them all scrambling all over the place. There is contact. And it's big.
Sim Racers car around us, Simpson Racing car around as well.
Who is it? It's we won't have a safety car, of course. No safety cars here. Clinton Bell. I don't know who the Simpson Racing car was. Ray Alfala.
Oh dear, Lon Murray.
Andres Katz
was around. Yeah, Clinton Bell, Ray Alfala. Oof.
Quite a few big names. Some big names have been involved in big contact tonight. Simon Field and Rushworth, of course, involved in carnage in race 2. Off at turn 2 we go, then we continue, and look at this, Colin Cunniff trying to force his way through the middle. I thought it was going to be, and there is contact, I think, with the Euroship Digital car, and that sends a race-up car into the wall, and the CQR Academy cars around, collecting a Wojciech Savidovic, no less, involved. He's able to continue. Dan Kraft involved as well, Alex.
Yeah, he's trying to get his car back pointing the right way if he can. Looks like some serious suspension damage on that, so his race is done. Michael Hall also involved in that. Robert Graham. Oh, more stuff going on down that back straight.
In the Enginal Direct car, is he going to? He's going to have had to retire. I think he's facing the wrong way and into turns 3 and 4. Stevens now trying to get past Stuart Atkinson.
Yeah, it's all just kicking off really. And we thought that there was a chance really that race 2 was going to be like that, but turned out race 3's you won.
Into 3 wide, 3 turns 1 and 2, and the race up car hits the Automech car of Evans. Hackerson's able to survive, but now the Apex car's hitting a race up car. That's Richard Gore hitting Ashley Sutton, who somehow managed to emerge unscathed from all the carnage that we were seeing just a few laps ago. Sutton now, where is he? He's up to 6th place after starting 21st on the grid after taking that race 2 victory. Behind him though, the Collecting Motorsport car of Simmons battling away with Richard Gore. Richard Gore trying to cover the inside line, he couldn't, and that's going to allow George Simmons down the inside through turn 2, and on the exit, is he clear? He's not clear yet, and Sutton got close, perilously close to the wall there. But yeah, a lot of action here in this 3rd race, and of course one more race to go after this.
Just having a little look further back, there's this big old group that's further back. It's led at the moment by Stuart Atkins, I think. Yeah, Stuart. And Kip Stevens just trying to have a little move on him right now. Kip's got a lot of damage in there, but this is definitely a second group, and it's pretty tasty right now. They are 2 wide, probably 4 or 5 deep there.
Yeah, Stevens now having to hold on from Jerome Kaiser, and then the Automech car, Scott Malcolm, Julian Janowski and Alex Smolensky 2x2 as well. Change for 2nd place, Ben Hackerson and Plumley going at it, but it's so hard to get away from this battle that we were watching on the screen between Stevens and the Alfa Latek car there, Janowski getting past him off of turn 4. The Automech car now on the outside, the race-up car of who's that? Jamie Rushworth on the inside. Rushworth, of course, fighting back after getting involved in a crash in race 2. Who gets into the Automech car, gets sideways, but is able to carry on. But it's still not over yet, Alex. Sim Racers cars going 2x2, 3 wide behind them. How are they going to source it out? And the Spicer Hart car nearly takes out their teammate Laura Bond, nearly getting into Jack McIntyre there. And now it's allowing the Collecting Motorsport car of Andrew Whitehead to try and get down the inside of them off of turn 4. The Sim Racer car of Steve Heffers trying to get involved in the mix as well. A whole load of Sim Racer cars there. But yeah, at the front, Ben Hackerson has got past Rob Plumley, as has Stelian Chepalewski. So a few changes for position there. And it's 2 wide into turns 3 and 4 between Jamie Fluke, Michael Shellback and Rob Fagg. Rob Fagg currently in 10th position, fighting off Fluke and Shellback, who are in 11th and 12th. What other battles are going on? It's endless really in this field of cars. Down the inside goes Ashley Sutton now on Rob Plumley. This is for 4th position, Alex.
Yeah, just can't keep up with the action at the moment. It's literally just relentless, something going on somewhere, so...
Down towards, yeah.
Oh, just 3 wide. Simmons perhaps had a little look on Sutton there, couldn't quite pull that off, but he might well get Plumley here. I think the momentum that he should be able to carry off the corner from that sort of line's going to make it stick, and Plumley aids him a little bit by having to get out of it because he nearly hit the wall. So close there, Rob Plumley, to hitting the concrete wall on the exit of turn 4, and that can really do a lot of damage to your car. In front of them, we've got Stelian Chepalewski closing in on Ben Hackerson and Dan Hunt out in front. Dan Hunt isn't escaping at all
from Ben Hackers in second and Chepelewski. So it's an Alpha Tech sandwich here with Neglecting Motorsport, the filling here off of turn 4. Dan Hunt coming across the line onto lap 16, half race distance then here in this third race of the night, but Ben Hackerson having a look to the inside. Dan Hunt's just getting a little bit wide through turn 1, but he gets the apex on turn 2 and is away off the corner. Sutton still getting chased by George Simmons, 2x2, that was 2 wide behind Rob Plumley and Colin Cunniff going into turn 3. And it looks like Cunniff will have the inside line, and George Simmons getting on. George Simmons hits the back of Sutton just a little bit, just unsettles that race up car off a turn 4. Sutton's this way and that to try and defend that 4th place from the Eclectic Motorsport car, going to the inside into turn 1. And now Simmons is going to be right with him, nudges the back of the race up with CQR car on the exit of turn 2. And now just in front of them, it's all coming together for the battle for the lead. So much action to watch. And now here comes Ben Hackerson to the inside of Dan Hunt into turn 3. And who's that? Zelin Chepelewski trying to follow his teammate on the outside line off of turn 4. Who's going to have the lead when we get to the line here? If this was the finish of the race, it would be Dan Hunt by 21 thousandths of a second, and Sutton having to do some huge defending there from the Collecting Motorsport car behind.
Yeah, exactly. While I was looking, I thought that was going to end in disaster. Simmons wanted that inside, but there was no way Ashley was going to let him have that. And literally, they ran each other right down to the apron there. And Sutton now on the drive. He wants to get involved in this lead battle if he can.
Sheppy might have found a way past Hackerson here. He's got to the inside line. Oh, Sutton once again so close to hitting that wall on the exit. Fine margins here, and Sutton's coming out of nowhere here. He's close right in on these leading trio, and now he's going to try and get past Chepelewski. Oh, a little bit of a nudge off of turn 2, and that's going to allow George Simmons to try and come alongside on the outside of Ashley Sutton into turns 3 and 4. Be careful, Ashley, you have got a car on the outside. Oh, and Hunt's been hit by the Eclectic Motorsport car, and here comes Sutton down the inside of all of them, possibly to take the lead.
Yeah, very impressive. If this works out into turn 1, that's crazy. The check up there, right place at the right time. Thank you very much. I will take that. Can Sutton hold on to this though?
Oh, that was forceful there, just coming across him. Oh, and Sheppy's been hit by, who was that? Was that Hackerson? Oh, and he comes back on and hits Simmons. Is everyone going to avoid him? Oh no, it's Richard Gore that hits him, and Richard Gore goes flying into the air. A sim racer car, an Alpha Tech car involved as well. That is Zelin Chepelewski. So one Alpha Tech car eliminated. So was Richard Gore, and so was one of the Eclectic Motorsport cars.
I think Richard survived. Somehow the car just sort of pinged up over him. It was a Sweathart car that actually took the brunt of it, I think. But looks like Richard might have some sort of problems out there. He's going a little bit slower than he was a moment ago.
Let's see who's left then. Sutton having to fend off Dan Hunt still. Ben Hackerson in third for Eclectic Motorsport. Off a turn 4 they go to start lap 22. 9 laps to go then in the third race of the night here at Phoenix International Raceway. Dan Hunt is not giving Ashley Sutton to it on a plate. 2x2 behind Colin Cunniff and Jamie Fluke. Fluke, who was running well in race 2 and had a podium finish in race 1, is doing well again in race 3 here. He's picking up some very valuable points, the Winter Series champion. But it's all about this leading trio at the front. Ashley Sutton, Dan Hunt, Ben Hackerson. 1, 2, 3. Race up with CQR versus Alpha Tech versus Eclectic Motorsport car. Eclectic Motorsport. Off a turn 4 onto lap 23.
Just having a look at the amount that we've had retire this race. It's only running up until 22nd place now. So this is a race of attrition if there ever was one. Don't want to go through that list. It's just immense. We'll be here for the rest of the race. But well done to everybody that's still going. This front 3, it's not over with yet, that's for sure. Fluke trying to get in on it as well, slowly catching up. Will he get there to mount any kind of challenge? I'm not sure. He's bringing Colin Cunniff with him as well. Johansson just a little bit behind them, and we've got a bit of a battle going on further back. This is Janowski with Craig Evans, and Rushworth just tucked in behind this as well. He hasn't been able to move up too many places, sitting there in 14th place.
Rushworth, in 14th place. Where did Rushworth start on the grid? He started in 36th place. There's probably more cars out of this race and are still in it. God knows what's going to happen in race 4, which is usually the most atrocious of the 4. Off a turn 4, back at the lead. Hackerson's going for it down the inside of Hunt into turn 1. Is he going to find a way through? Hunt was sideways just a little bit there through turns 1 and 2 on the exit. Is he going to just be in front of the Eclectic Motorsport car? He is, and now he's going to get the run down the back straight to try and close in on Ash Sutton. Jamie Fluke's about to join the party as well into turns 3 and 4. When we get to the line, there'll be 5 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this now. They're absolutely lined up behind each other. 6 laps to go. This is really where it needs to all start to happen. Hunt just needs a couple of laps free from Hackerson, I think, for him to have the opportunity to see if he can get Sutton into the wall. Now, surely, Hunt, get that run. Chuck it in there, see what he could do. It's not easy to go up the inside. Sutton covers the inside off a little bit.
Fluke.
Hunt just a little bit too deep. That's going to open the door for Fluke.
Off of turn 4 then to start lap 27. How did they not hit the wall there? I thought they were going so wide to hit it. Here comes Hackerson down the inside of Hunt. Hunt's just like, please stop bothering me. I need to try and get past Ashley Sutton here, but Hackerson wants a piece of the action as well. Off of turn 2, Sutton, who has fought his way through from 21st on the grid after winning race 2, is still at the front here in race 3. But Dan Hunt has been in front, well, started on 4th on the grid, has managed to fight his way up to 2nd as Hackerson gets hit by Jamie Fluke. Off of turn 4 again, lap 28. 3 laps to go now at Phoenix. The racing continues. Sutton versus Hunt. What were their lap times last time around? Sutton 30.5, Hunt 30.6, but of course Hunt had to withstand the pressure from Hackerson. Let's see what Hunt can do now with clean track in front of him and without Ben Hackerson pestering him, overtaking that 2nd place away. Sutton looking this way, and that's trying to defend the position from the Alfa Tech car. It's all been this race so far tonight has been dominated by Race Hub and by this man, Ashley Sutton. Off a turn at 4 onto the penultimate lap, Alex.
Yeah, I thought for a moment that Fluke was going to keep Hackerson busy, but all of a sudden Hackerson right back on the tail of Hunt, looking for a way past, and Hunt's having to just keep a little eye on his rear view mirror. It's not what he wants to do, and he gets a pretty poor run out of turn 2 there, and all of a sudden it looks like he's going to slip back, although we've seen this time and time again tonight. You get a good run off that high line, you can get your car back ahead, but this time it's not going to happen. Hackerson up and into 2nd place. Will he have a go on the final lap and see if he can get Sutton? I think he's going to be just too far back.
Last lap of the race then. He gets a good run into turn 1, Ben Hackerson, but I think Sutton might just have to speed on the exit of turn 2. He's still got a chance of possibly having a lunge down the inside into turns 3 and 4. Let's see what happens then. Race up versus... Hackerson had and Sutton sideways, and that's going to allow Dan Hunt. Hunt's on the scene, and Hackerson's going to go around the outside. They nearly get into the wall. Who's going to win this 3rd race of the night? Here comes Fluke. It's going to be Ashley Sutton for Race Up with CQR. The other 3 were just hitting each other constantly off of turn 4. They just weren't able to get by him. Ashley Sutton slides his way to his 2nd win of the night, and Race Hub have won all 3 races so far tonight. Of course, we've got one more, of course, to come in the 4th race. But wow, Alex, what a finish.
Yeah, it was a great race. Thoroughly enjoyed that as well. And, I'll give people some hard time here and there and whatnot, but I think if you're Hackerson, you've got to try a little nudge or something there. And he didn't overdo it. He didn't ram into Ash there. I wonder if had the order changed, would the stewards look at it? Would there have been a protest put in? Maybe, I don't know. But as it was, Ash took that anyway. So awesome car control from him, and a thoroughly deserved win as well, because he had to fight his way back. Something chronic there, and it wasn't easy. And that move in the middle of the race, where he really got 3 cars, made it happen.
Ben Hackerson and Sutton having a little bit of payback going into the pit lane there. So I wonder if some feelings have been spilt over there. But yeah, what a 3rd race of the night, and we've got one more to come after this. Well, so many battles as well unfolding throughout the race. We were just trying to keep an eye on all of them, really. But yeah, Ashley Sutton takes the win in the 3rd race of the night, his 2nd in a row. After starting in 21st on the grid after winning race 2. Jamie Fluke in 2nd. He's been on the podium every single race that he's finished. Tonight was on the podium in race 1, didn't finish in race 2, and got a podium here in race 3. Dan Hunt in 3rd, Ben Hackerson finished in 4th, Philip Johansson 5th, Colin Cunniff in 6th, 7th Michael Scharbach, 8th Richard Gore, the highest of the Pro-Am drivers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It might be Ben Hackerson, I don't know, but Kaiser in 9th, 10th Jamie Rushworth from 36th on the grid, and Kaiser from 35th on the grid as well. 11th was Pete Newman, 12th Julian Janowski, from 41st. Jack McIntyre 13th, 14th Rob Fagg, 15th Craig Evans, 16th John Roberts from 40th on the grid, 17th Kip Stevens, 18th Paul Smith from 33rd, 19th Liam Atkins and 20th Nick McCarron. These guys have all bounced back from starts outside the top 30. 21st Andrew Whitehead, 22nd Roy Ververke, and then after that the cars are all retired from the race. They were all 10 laps down or more. Chepelewski, George Simmons, Rob Plumley, Stuart Atkinson, so all those guys could have the possibility of being reversed onto reverse grid pole. 27th Laura Bond, 28th Steve Hefford, Alex Molensky 29th, 30th Scott Malcolm, Simon Field, another awful race for him, and 31st. Lorne Murray 32nd. Wojciech Savidovic was involved in contacts very early on. He finished in 33rd. Dan Kraft 34th. 35th for Matt Bunn, 36th Jay Wright, 37th Robert Graham, 38th Ross Balfour having an awful race meeting. Michael Hall 39th, Ray Alfala involved in contact at the start in 40th. 41st Andres Katz. I don't know where he is in the championship, but it's just not going his way this season. He's 29th going into this race. Wonder where he is now. And then 42nd Clinton Bell, and as we mentioned before the start, Sebastian Jobe did not actually start the race. Wow, Alex.
Yeah, amazing finish there. Like I say, I'm not disappointed with what happened there at all. That was great, and the right result in the end. I think if you're gonna try a bump and nudge, you gotta expect a bit of retaliation after the checkered flag as well. So all in all, a lot of fun to watch, and great result. Really looking forward to the fourth race. Let's just hope that we see a few more finish. I mean, it was unfortunate, really. We had a couple of big accidents that took a lot of cars out in that one.
I'm sure the protest forms are already being filled out in preparation for the fourth race, because that will no doubt be as entertaining as this. Well, time for the reverse grid then for the final race of the evening, race 16 of the championship. 16 down to 26, or a full, but I think the full will only cover the point score as it says in the regulations, and that will mean 22. So Roy Ververke's got 2 shots of being on reverse grid pole. But let's have a look at the contenders. John Roberts, Kip Stevens, Paul Smith, Liam Atkins, Nick McCarron, Andrew Whitehead, Roy Ververke, Stelin Chepelewski, George Simmons, Rob Plumley, and Stuart Atkinson. Who's going to be on pole, Alex?
Here we go. Let's see what we get. It's only really the second time tonight because we missed the last one, unfortunately. 26. I think it's as large as we're going to get. Is indeed 26 car reverse.
Stuart Atkinson then on to pole position. Rob Plumley, who was on pole for this race, will have an opportunity to get a race win possibly. He'll be on the front row alongside Atkinson. George Simmons in 3rd, Stelin Chepelewski 4th, and Roy Ververke in 5th.
We have a few Roy fans that will be happy with that on the YouTube chat, I have no doubt. So I hope he can stick it right up there and stay there as well and avoid all the trouble.
Well, let's see what Ashley Sutton can do from 26th on the grid, because 21 wasn't a problem for him, and he's took his 2nd win of the night and Race Hub's 3rd of the night. It's definitely been all about Race Hub. We'll see if anyone's able to stop their domination here at Phoenix International Raceway in just a few moments. Stay with us here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV as the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship heads into race 16 of the championship after the break.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
It's race 16 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, and once again we're at Phoenix International Raceway for the fourth and final race of the night. Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. Adam Bath and Alex Simpson here with you as we've been so far tonight. And Alex, 3 great races, and the fourth race has a prospect of being even more exciting with a full reverse grid, 26 cars reversed, and Stuart Atkinson's going to be on the pole.
Yeah, let's hope Stuart gets a good run in there as well. Temperatures getting pretty hot under the collar at the moment as well. Some off-track debates going on as well. So I think this could be a really tasty race as well. Few scores to settle out there. Let's just hope that we don't see anything crazy, and it's all done with good hard racing.
Well, we were looking at the championship standings during the commercial break, and Richard Gore is now leading the championship. Pro-Am driver leading the Drivers' Championship. How about that? Wojciech Savinovic in second, 19 points behind him. Simon Field in third, only 2 points ahead of Michael Schalbach in fourth. Stelian Chepolevsky 5th, Alex Smolensky 6th, Jamie Fluke 7th, Colin Cunniff 8th, and Hackerson joint 9th with Ross Balfour. In the AM standings, Richard Gore 275 points ahead. Apex Racing still leading the team's championship, 54 points ahead of Alphalatech. Simpson Racing 3rd, Friction Racing 4th, and Race Hub in 5th.
Someone just went flying there. I don't know who that was or what that was, but right into the infield. And I'm going to sort of, for obvious reasons as well, going to just sit here and back up Richard's status as well. And, he hasn't featured that strongly tonight at all. He's had some tough races. He wasn't the quickest AM driver in the first round. That, went to John Roberts last season as champion as well. So I think what Richard's doing that a lot aren't doing out there right now is he's finishing every race. This is why he's winning. It's, if you look at all the other drivers in and around him, I think you'll find they've all had at least one DNF. And that's where the points make a big difference. So he's just being really sensible out there, and I hope I haven't cursed him and he's going to do it. So, but before everybody jumps on the bandwagon and say, he shouldn't be on there. Look at actually where he's finishing and who he's racing. He's not massive times faster than these people. He's just avoiding all the crashes and being sensible. See what happens, guys?
Well, yeah, it's all been about the consistency. Look at David Baker, of course, back in season 7, only took 1 win, and he ended up winning the title there. I'm just looking at Richard Gore's finishes tonight. Where did he finish in race 1? Let's have a look. He finished in fact, he didn't have a good race at all, I don't think, in race 1. Finished in 23rd place in race 1, and race 2 he finished in 16th, and then in race 3, which we had just a few moments ago, finished in 8th. So it's all been about the consistency, as Alex was saying, and that's what allows Richard Gore to emerge at the top of the Drivers' Championship heading into this fourth and final race of the night. Tell you what, Simon Field hasn't had a very good race meeting after finishing near the podium. In fact, he might have been on the podium in race 1. It's not been going his way at all. 2 DNFs in race 2 and race 3, and that's what's meant he's relinquished the championship lead to Richard Gore and Wojciech Savinovic. Well, we're about to head down to the grid, and we'll have a look at the starting lineup for the final race of the night. Of course, pace lap and then a rolling start, of course, as we're on an oval, and no safety cars in this race due to the race organisers disabling it. Otherwise, we would be having cautions left, right and centre, especially after what we saw in race 3. Let's have a look then at the starting lineup then. Stuart Atkinson on the pole, Rob Plumley in second, George Simmons in third, Stelian Chepolevsky 4th, 5th for Roy Ververke, 6th Andrew Whitehead, 7th Nick McCarron, 8th Liam Atkins, 9th Paul Smith, rounding out the top 10, Kip Stevens, 11th John Roberts, 12th Craig Evans, 13th Rob Fagg, 14th Jack McIntyre, 15th for Julian Janowski, 16th Pete Newman, 17th Jamie Rushworth, our race 1 winner, 18th Jerome Kaiser, 19th Richard Gore, the championship leader, 20th Michael Schalbach, 21st Colin Cunniff, 22nd Philip Johansson, 23rd Philip Ben Hackerson, 24th Dan Hunt, 25th Jamie Fluke. 26th, our race 2 and 3 winner, Ashley Sutton. Only one driver's won 3 in a row, and that is Sebastian Job. 27th, Laura Bond. 28th, Steve Hefford. 29th, Alex Malensky. 30th, Scott Malcolm. 31st, Simon Field, who was the championship leader, of course. 32nd, Lorne Murray. 33rd, Wojciech Savidovic. 34th, Dan Kraft. 35th, Matt Bunn. 36th, Jay Wright. 37th, Rob Graham. 38th, Ross Balfour. 39th, Michael Hall. 40th, two-time NASCAR Peak Anti-Freeze Series champion Ray Alfala, who was fastest in practice, funnily enough, before this 4th and final race begins. 41st, Andreas Katz. 42nd, Clinton Bell. And at the back, in 43rd, all by himself, Sebastian Job.
Just a very quick reminder for those that might not have tuned in, drivers here are racing for a share of anywhere up to $20,000 as well. Team Championship, AM Championship, Pro Championship, safest driver, all up for grabs, as well as a few other little spot prizes throughout the season, I have no doubt. So series is broadcast on Motors TV as well, for those that aren't aware. All 133 races of it as well.
Tuesday nights, 6:20 on Motors TV. Make sure you tune into that every week. Off the turn 4 we go. Safety cars in the pit lane, and race 16 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway.
Great start from Stuart, got the jump on everybody and goes into turn 1 without having any real competition out there at all.
And he's already going for it, the lead, George Simmons. He's already going for it, 3 wide, down the back straight, in towards turn 3. Here comes the Alfala Tech car of Cheppy behind. No way through though, and George Simmons slides up the track and is now coming under pressure from Rob Plumley, who was on the pole for race 3 earlier on. He's now trying to wrestle the lead away from the Eclectic Motorsports car. Line astern as they come across the line to complete lap 1. Side by side there, CQR Academy car, Nick McCarron versus Paul Smith. Paul Smith, who I was talking to after the Kia Club Series race on Sunday, doesn't particularly like these ovals. He's now battling away inside the top 10 with the Apex Racing car.
Yeah, all of a sudden Atkins got a really terrible run, and that's why he finds himself down in 4th place right now. He's going to have to just try and hold it in there, but Simmons, we know how quick he was. He was battling at the front in that last race as well, and unfortunate just to get caught up in that. Puts the fastest lap of the race in. Rob Plumley, no slouch as well, but Chepalewski's certainly going to be a bit of a handful for him, and all of a sudden Atkins coming back at Cheppy as well.
Ashley Sutton there at the side of the racetrack, so he's not going to take 3 in a row. He seems to have had some problems during the start. Oh, crash! It's an Eclectic Motorsports car, and it's an Automet car flying into the air. Rob Fagg, Julian Janowski involved, I think, but a big crash going into turn 3, Alex.
Yeah, let's see if we can catch that back, see exactly what happened. So, just saw a little bit as we jumped on board with someone a bit further back, and wow, what can you say?
Just trying to find out what happened myself. Yeah, Rob Fagg, I think, getting involved for Eurochip Digital. Let's see what happened to him. It was going down into turn 3 and 4. It was side by side with a Alfala Tech car. It was who was that? That was Julian Janowski. Janowski for the second time tonight getting involved in a crash in turn 3. Turns across, bang into the wall, and yeah, he gets sent into the desert.
Well, if you're gonna go with style. Rob Fagg absolutely launched there off the track. A few others doing some cartwheels and flips and double tucks and all sorts of things as they left the circuit.
George Simmons continues to lead, Plumley in second, but for how much longer? Because here comes Stelin Chepalewski down the inside. Took his only win of last season on an oval at Daytona. Now he's trying to take the second place away from Plumley into turn 1. He's out of control, just slides a little bit and slides back up the racetrack, almost into Plumley, but Plumley's able to carry on fine. Look at this though, 2 by 2, almost 3 wide further back. Paul Smith and his CQR teammate, that is Liam Atkins into turn 3 and 4. And the Apex car behind, that is Nick McCarron, Kip Stevens and Jack McIntyre also side by side. So a lot of action here in this pack, just outside the top 10. Over the line we go, onto lap 7. In front of these guys, the Automet car of, that's Roy Ververke and Andrew Whitehead, of course, of Eclectic Motorsports car. So Eclectic Motorsport, well represented inside the top 10 early on. Oh, it's getting a bit closer. I thought there was going to be a quarter panel between Liam Atkins and Kip Stevens. They sort each other out into turn 3. Still 2 by 2.
I just don't know where to look in this one right now. Something I think's going to have to give at some point, as I think that was McCarron, was it?
Yeah.
Super close to the wall there. The 3 wide going into turn 1. Kip coming in at a really, really tight angle there. Manages to keep it down low. It's really going to hurt his exit. Surely he's going to lose a couple of places here, but this is just crazy. There, my timing screen just says 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, all the way down it at the minute. It's incredible.
I'm just seeing cars on mine just going green, red for changes of position. But 2x2 off the corner. Nick McCarron versus the Spicer Hart car. That is Jack McIntyre into turns 1 and 2. Kaiser trying to get past as well in that Eurochip digital car, with Jamie Rushworth watching him, the race 1 winner, who's fighting his way back through after having a crash in race 2. Down a back straight towards turn 3 and 4. George Simmons continues to lead from Chepelevsky, 6/10 of a second out in front. Plumley 3rd, 4th Atkinson, 5th Whitehead, 6th Verke, 7th it is Smith, 8th McIntyre, 9th it is Jerome Kaiser. Then it's Rushworth rounding out the top 10. Off of turn 4 we go onto lap 10. It's anyone's guess who's going to get these positions. Side by side into turns 1 and 2. That's Liam Atkins trying to get past the Simpson racing car. That is Colin Cunniff off of turn 2.
Just everywhere I'm looking, there's just something going on. We're just also keeping an eye behind as well. That's I think you've got Gore, Alfowler, Svidovic, and Hefford, Matt Bunn, all in this little group here as well. This is 19th through to 23rd, and yeah, that's pretty tasty in and around there as well. Going to jump forward as well because I think Kip and Shellback are side by side. Well, this group is just incredible.
Where do you look really in this pack? We've got Andrew Whitehead leading it. Then it's Roy Baverke, Jack McIntyre, Jerome Kaiser, Jamie Rushworth. Those two are going. Oh, and the Alfa Latek car nearly gets into car number 7. That was Kip Stevens. Stevens is able to wrestle the car and stop it from hitting the wall. And the Alfa Latek car, Shellback, survives. We've already seen one Alfa Latek car getting plunged into the depths of the desert here in Arizona. But now he's able to continue. Oh, and McCarron has to check up in turn 1. That's going to allow Shellback through, and it's going to allow anyone else through. But look at that pack in front. 3 wide down the back straight. We've got the Auto Mech. Oh, and there's a crash in front. There's a crash in front. Is it Johansson? I think it might be. Everyone's going to have to check up to avoid it. Off goes Nick McCarron, and so does Roy Verke.
Yeah, unfortunately, poor Nick and all the people on the high line just. There's nothing they could do to avoid that. They could just see that coming. Let's see that from on board with.
There's been another crash on the front straight, Alex. Liam Atkins.
We'll swap over to Liam straight after that and see what happened.
And Rob Plumley as well.
Let's see this. Yeah, so everybody's checking up, going into that corner.
Tell you what, Plumley.
That pushed Nick up from the high line. He was down low. And here we go. We're going into turn 3 and 4. You can see it. You can't see. He's blind. And then everybody's just. I think he might have been alright, but he just got tagged from behind and major damage. He's still rolling on there. Let's have a look at what happened to Liam now. We're on board with Liam as well. Lost a few people. Oh, jeez, there's just someone on the outside there. Was that Rob?
It's Rob Plumley because he gets into. He's the one that got into Johansson, and he was slow. He was slow ever since that, and yeah, that's what happened to him into turn 1. So then, George Simmons leads, Stelin Chepelevsky second, and it's a bit of a gap back to 3rd place, a very long gap, and it's Sharon Kaiser, about 4 seconds between Cheppy and Kaiser, but it's still a very there's a bit of contact off a turn 2. Paul Smith, very sideways there, he's able to control the car, but this back hasn't settled down in the slightest since those 2 huge wrecks just a lap or so ago. Colin Cunniff in that Scottish liveried friction racing car, trying to get past Andrew Whitehead off of turn 4. There's an engine or direct car there involved. That is Philip Johansson. He's able to continue. It wasn't him that was involved in that crash earlier. I don't know who it was in that engine or direct car, but either way, Johansson's just got a bit sideways off of turn 2, and he's just fallen behind the Apex car of Jamie Fluke, who's fighting his way through. Tell you who was the Apex racing car? I think it was Stuart Atkinson. Who of course started on the pole in this race, and he was involved in that crash with Rob Plumley. Just a few laps to go, 2x2 though. It's Simpson versus Friction over the line, and now here comes Wojciech Savidovic down the inside. Oh, and he gets hit. He hits the Eclectic Motorsports car, who in turn hits Colin Cunniff. Cunniff gets into the safer barrier, and he's going to come back down and nearly hits that Apex car, Alex.
Yeah, just for a minute there as well, 4 wide as they all sort of filter themselves through there as well, and there's just no room to move out there. Any little mistake is really punishing. Or we're seeing 2 or 3 cars get sort of, into the wall. Go 3 cars there. Colin Cunniff, Paul Smith, and I think that might have been Whitehead as well.
2 by 2 then, Smith versus Whitehead. I have to look at the front as well because the gap's less than a tenth between the leaders. What's going on there? It is 2 by 2. Oh, but it's not anymore. Into turns 3 and 4 though. Jamie Rushworth, Sharon Kaiser, Jack McIntyre, they're all battling over places as well. This is for a spot on the podium. Sharon Kaiser versus Jamie Rushworth off of turn 4. There you go. Eurochip versus Race Hub. Ashley Sutton is out of the race, by the way, after contact early on. Rushworth sideways, and he hits Kaiser, and this is going to allow Michael Shellback to find a route through to possibly a podium here. Sharon Kaiser is able to continue after just the slightest of touches, Alex. But yeah, here comes Shellback.
Yeah, crazy racing going on out there right now, and somehow Jamie held on to that, but he has lost a couple of places to it. Shellback just having a run the inside. He's going to have to go defensive. Rushworth's going to try and pinch him down low, as we've seen all race meeting long, just to see if you can get that run around the outside. Seems to be actually the drivers, if they can get up top, that's where the moves can be done. Look at Rushworth straight through there, absolutely impressive, and still carrying a lot more speed.
Of course, we started the day here in race 1 at sunrise, and now we're in sunset conditions here at Phoenix International Raceway. 4 thrilling races here, some of the best in the BSR TC. Off of turn 4 then, the battle for third continues between Rushworth and Kaiser. Into turn 1 they go. Savidovic now trying to join in and try and possibly get a podium for him after getting a podium, I think, in race 1. Off of turn 2 they go, down the back straight that isn't really straight in the slightest here at Phoenix International Raceway. Shellback looking this way and that to try and get past Savidovic. Into turn 3. Who's that sim racer card trying to join in? That's Ray Alfala. Ray Alfala, where did he start on the grid? I don't think he started anywhere near the front. He started 40th, right at the back. He's now inside the top 10.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? He's had some unfortunateness, I tell you, tonight. He'll be perhaps a little disappointed that he hasn't won a race here, but this is no doubt an impressive drive, I tell you.
Down to turns 3 and 4 then, lap 22, less than 10 laps to go. Where's the time gone here in the 4th race of the night, Phoenix International Raceway? Eurochip Digital forging the way through turns 3 and 4. 2 by 2, Savidovic versus Kaiser. They're holding up the rest of the pack. Shellback and Ray Alfala finding a way through the middle, Ray. That's not very sensible, is it? Down here, there's the hair contact. I don't know whether it hasn't been anyone in front of these guys, but this is the battle for the podium here. And, wow, what do you look at this? 3 wide. Oh, Ray Alfala's taking a huge risk here, and Rushworth gets hit from behind by McIntyre, and into the barrier he goes. He's going to lose a few positions there. That's one of those guys eliminated. He's going to come back on Rushworth. He's lost a whole load of positions. Where is he now? 10th place. Down the front straight we go. Ray trying to get in the middle there, but Shellback's got that covered. These Eurochip Digital cars are doing a fantastic job of holding off the chasing pack behind.
Yeah, they literally know they can just block the track up, and that's effectively what they've done. And yeah, it's working like a treat. I don't think oh, big crash further back, big crash.
Richard Gore, I think.
Job and Kip Stevens there as well. So, what happened to them?
Let's find out. Yeah. But of course, these drivers all can communicate with each other. They are all on a voice service called Mumble, and they can all talk to each other. And I'm sure that the Eurochip Digital cars are instigating this massive defence operation.
3 into 1, unfortunately. And actually, if anything, poor Job and Kip, teammates, of course. Probably nothing they're doing there. That's just the friction racing car coming up the middle, trying to work a gap. And yeah, in the end, disaster.
Alfala's managed to find a way past one of the Eurochip Digital cars, but Michael Shellback is trying to get past him as well and gives him a nudge, and gets nudged himself by the Simpson racing car, number 11. Who's that? That is Simon Field. Simon Field, who started in 31st place, is now inside the top 10. Talk about a race of comebacks. Over line we go on to lap 27. What's happening at the front of the field, actually? We've been so focused on this battle for the final podium spot. It's still 1/10 of a second between Stelian Chepelevsky and George Simmons. Eclectic Motorsport haven't won in the championship before, neither of Alpha Tech. These Oh, these two will be going for a win. In fact, Alphalatech might have taken a race win this season. I do apologise. But yeah, these two all going for a race win in this series on the final few laps of what has been a fantastic race meeting. Off of turn 4, they go in the battle for third. It's Savidovic now in third, Alfala fourth, fifth. It is Ray, it is Jeroen Kaiser, 6th it is Michael Schellbach, 7th McIntyre, 8th Field, 9th Philip Johansson, rounding out the top 10 for Apex Racing, it is Jamie Fluke.
This is an amazing battle, and Ray's getting closer. He's down to 0.2 of a second from Svidovic. He might have a opportunity. He seems to be one who's definitely figured out the line round here to get the moves done and come straight through that pack as well. So here's hoping we'll see something. Cheppy with 2 laps to go. He's as close as he's ever been. He's got to make a move at some point. Perhaps he's just being patient. He's going to leave it to the last lap. Has he been sizing Simmons up?
Put up final lap, about to start the final lap of the race here at Phoenix International Raceway. Stalin Chepelevsky yet to win a race this season. Won a race at Daytona on another oval last season. The final race meeting there. On the final lap of the race, it is Eclectic Motorsports versus Alphalatech. Off of turn 2 we go, down the back straight towards turn 3 and 4. It's almost like race 3, Hackerson versus Sutton, and there was an Eclectic Motorsport car involved there. Into turns 3 and 4, is there an opportunity for Chepelevsky to take the race victory? I don't think there is. Off of turn 4, checker flag in the air, and race 16 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship goes to George Simmons for Eclectic Motorsports, who take their first ever win in the BSRT series. Across the line, who got third? It was Wojciech Savidovic ahead of Ray Alfala. Ray Alfala 4th place from 40th on the grid, what an achievement. 5th for Schellbach, just ahead of McIntyre, just with only a few thousandths in it between him and Kaiser. Then Johansson 8th, Field 9th, and Fluke in 10th. Well, take a breath, Alex.
Yeah, I think you need to. Geez, that was amazing work, Adam there, keeping hold of everything that was going on there. So lost a lot of people again, but not so many as last time. What a great race as well. Cheppy just couldn't have, just didn't quite get a run, and that really comes down to that man there, George Simmons. He's been very quick all night long, and yeah, Eclectic Motorsport there as well, and the with the Shopkeep logo on there, so he'll be delighted with that first win, I believe, in the series as well for both team and driver. So awesome job.
Fantastic job by Eclectic Motorsport there, and Chepelevsky nearly got it there. I think he was the highest of the championship contenders yet there. Savidovic in third. And yeah, only 27 cars finished this time as opposed to the 22 we saw in race 3. But once again, a few big names involved in incidents there, including the likes of Sebastian Job, Kip Stevens, Ash Sutton, of course, getting involved in contact on lap 2 of the race. So he wasn't able to take 3 in a row there. And finally, Racer with CQR haven't won a race at Phoenix International Raceway. Let's run you really through the finishing order then from the 4th and final race of the evening here at Phoenix International Raceway. George Simmons takes his first win in the BSRTC and his first, and Eclectic Motorsports' first win. Stalin Chepelevsky came so close in second place there for Alphalatech. Wojciech Savidovic in third, and Chepelevsky's boss Ray Alfala for Sim Racer magazine in 4th. Michael Schellbach in 5th, Jack McIntyre 6th, Jeroen Kaiser 7th, Philip Johansson in 8th, Simon Field in 9th, from 31st on the grid, Jamie Fluke in 10th for Apex Racing. 11th, Jamie Rushworth, the race 1 winner. 12th, Dan Kraft. 13th, Andreas Katz. 14th in the end was Steve Hefford. 15th, Colin Cunniff. 16th, Pete Newman. 17th, our championship leader, Richard Gore. We'll see if he's the championship leader after this race. I think Savidovic might have pipped him to the championship lead going into the next race meeting. Scott Malcolm in 18th. Ben Hackerson 19th. 20th, Alex Smolensky. 21st, Rob Graham. 22nd, Ross Balfour. 23rd, Andrew Whitehead. 24th, Clinton Bell. 25th in the end was Dan Hunt. 26th, Jay Wright. 27th, Lorne Murray. And in the cars that retired from the race, we had Kip Stevens in 28th. Sebastian Job in 29th. Michael Hall in 30th. Paul Smith in 31st. 32nd, Matt Bunn. 33rd, Liam Atkins. 34th, Rob Plumley. 35th, Roy Ververke. 36th, Nick McCarran. 37th, Stuart Atkinson. 38th, Laura Bond. Craig Evans. 39th for Automech. 40th for Julian Janowski. 41st for Rob Fagg, who has not had a good race meeting in the slightest, really. Has been at the back in quite a few of the races. John Roberts, 42nd. And Ashley Sutton, the first of the cars to get involved in contact.
Yeah, actually a pedal failure for Ash, I've been told.
Okay.
So, yeah, some problems with him, which is why he had to pull over. Great race meeting, Adam. Thank you once again for jumping in here as well. So, like you say, you can calm and catch your breath right now.
Have we got any time for interviews?
Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to a quick advert break. We'll come back and we'll try and get a couple of interviews with those guys that are still around.
For iRacing to get Le Mans is huge. I mean, this is a unique event, a unique track where, half of the track is public road, so you can never test on it, you never get experience on it, and it's 8 miles in length, 4-minute lap time in a GT car. So, even if you're here for an hour of testing, that's only 15 laps, and you're only going to see the corner 15 times that day. The first section going through the Dunlop area is pretty unique. It's got elevation change and off camber. Then you go down Mulsanne into the chicanes, and the straights are unbelievably long. It's a tricky track, and every year I've come here, being my 4th year, you learn something new every time.
We've wanted to add Le Mans to iRacing for a long time, and we've really been working hard towards it for the last 5 years. But really, things only came together in the last week leading up to this race, so it was a real scramble to put everything together. The majority of Le Mans is public roads, so when they're preparing for the 24-hour race, it's really the only time that we can visit to laser scan and photograph the track so that we can recreate it in iRacing. We work closely with the ACO to get essentially exclusive access to the facility and everything that we needed to get the laser scanning and photographic reference that we need to create the track. We were very fortunate to be at Le Mans at the most important time of the year and gain that experience of being there. And we're going to really do the best we can to put that into our work and making sure that the Le Mans in iRacing is the best Le Mans, the most exciting and accurate recreation of the track possible.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and here on Motors TV for some post-race reaction from races 13 to 16 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing. Alex, let's get some interviews then started. I think we're joined by the Automech driver, that is Craig Evans. And Craig Evans, it's been a pretty decent race meeting for you. You're inside the top 20 in 3 of the 4 races tonight.
Yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed that, despite what I told you guys last week that it was something I was going to hate. But no, that was a good omen for me. So yeah, no, I enjoyed that. It was a bit disappointing to get caught up in the crash in the last race, but no, quite a few top 20s there. I'm pleased with that one.
Oh, well, it's stressful for us to watch in the comms box. How stressful was it for you in the car?
Less stressful in the Winter Series, actually. I have to thank my teammates Rob Graham and Roy Viverki for a setup there. It handled quite nicely for me, so that made it a little bit easier. But I'm still not a fan of the ovals, but so I'll take the results that I got tonight.
With all of you in the Mumble chat, do your teammates sort of act as spotters for what's happening on around you?
We try and help each other as best we can. I know Rob himself didn't have the best races tonight. He ended up getting caught up in a few of the accidents, so we do try our best, but sometimes if we're not running, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Well, next week we head to Donington Park, back on British soil, and how do you think you'll fare around there?
I hope I'll do well. Donington's a track I like a lot. I did that in the club series towards the end of last season and got my first win, so I was quite proud of that one. So hopefully I can match a good result next week for that one.
Anyone you want to send a quick shout out to here on Apex Racing TV?
Yeah, definitely. I shouted again to my teammates to help me with the setups there. I also shouted to Automech for sponsoring the team for the season, and also to Staffy Supplies, who've got their nice logo on the roof of the car. Alex,
you want to speak to Craig Evans about anything?
Yeah, I think you covered everything there. To be honest, Adam. Yeah, just well done on your meeting. Just unlucky really for that final race.
It's good. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. Thanks for talking to us, Craig. Yep, and we'll see you in the Automech car next week at Donington Park.
Cheers.
See, we've got our race winner in there as well. We should probably grab him down next.
Okay. George Simmons for Eclectic Motorsport joins us now in the commentary box. And George, you managed to withstand the pressure from Stelin Chepelevsky for the entire race and take Eclectic Motorsport's first win in the BSR TC.
Yeah, really pleased about that. I mean, I got quite lucky with the reverse grid, really. I should have been quite high up in the previous race, but in fact, I think it was Ben who sort of got involved with a little accident that put me out. But luckily, ended up 24th, which was good enough for third in the reverse grid. And from there, it was just sort of me and Stelly straight fight. I think at the start of it, I tried to just get clear of him, away from the draft train if I could, but it wasn't enough. And then he sat behind me, and I was waiting really until the last couple of laps when he'd try and attack me. And I just sort of got the feeling that he just couldn't do it, that he wasn't quick enough. So I just kept pushing, kept driving my lines as if he wasn't there, and eventually a checkered flag came round.
Yeah, perfect race really for you, George. Like you say, it was unfortunate that you were where you were for the reverse grid, but you got to the front fairly quickly, and you're showing good pace all meeting long as well. And like you say, I mean, just from our point of view as well, I'm afraid we didn't really focus on you guys all that much because it really did look like Stilling was just sort of holding on to you more than anything else, and epic battles going on behind as you were involved in earlier on.
I'm sure there was much more action further down the grid. Yeah, we were pretty boring up the front there, so I don't blame you.
Well, just while you're in the booth, George, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Of course, as you know, my dad and uncle will be watching at home, so thanks a lot for their support, and they always come watch me every week. So thanks a lot to them. And also, of course, a shout out to our sponsors. So Eclectic Motorsport have been taking me under their wing for this season, and we've got me and Ben sponsored by Shopkeep at the moment, which is a game that you can get on, I think it's Steam Greenlight. So go and check it out. So thanks a lot, as always, to the Apex Racing team as well. You guys do a fantastic broadcast, and look forward to watching it back tomorrow night. Thanks, George. Cheers, mate. Good luck at Donington. Yeah, should be good.
George Simmons, our race 4 winner. See if he was able to replicate that win next time out at Donington Park. Joining us now in the Apex Racing TV commentary box is Ray Alfala, NASCAR Peak Anti-Free Series champion. Ray, a fantastic 4th race from you, 40th on the grid, to a top 5 finish.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't think that was possible, but we just managed to pick the right lanes and then avoid a few crashes, which picked us up a lot of spots at a time. But man, that was something else. I didn't know what to expect. I've never run an oval with this car, and it's nothing like the NASCAR stuff, but it's still a ton of fun. Anytime you put like 40 cars out there on a 1-mile track.
It looked like in the, I think it was the first race where you were struggling really to get moves done, and then it looked almost like something clicked in the last third of the race, and you were really running in sort of up top and trying to get great drive off the corner so you could carry the momentum through and sort of slingshot past. In that last race, were you sort of like, I think you just said really it was just a case of picking your line and avoid the mayhem, but you seem to be one of the few that were able to actually get moves done out there tonight.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the oval experience might help, and I've raced here a bunch, so I probably have more experience on this track than the field combined. But I don't know. It kind of felt random at times. I would go into the corner, what I would think was the right speed, and then the front end would not grip, and other times it would. So I'm not sure I quite figured it out. But the third race there, that was a shame. I thought I was making okay progress, and then we just, the cars in front of us just kind of got hooked together, and then we ended up flipping over the catch fence.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I think on the commentary, if you're going to go in style, I say so. Look good.
Yeah, thanks to Kip for setup help, and Sim Racer Magazine for being on board. Good looking car, and hope we put up a good show there. I thought the last race, when I saw that pack, I thought that was for the lead, so I got really excited, and then I realized the top 2 were like 6 seconds ahead.
And of course, you're sponsoring another team in the series as well. Do you want to just quickly talk about those guys?
Yeah, Kip hooked me up. I'm not even sure who it was, so I'm sorry about that. But I saw the Alpha cars out there. Kip kind of came up to me with that offer before the season started. I didn't even ask for it, so thanks a lot to Kip. And it's kind of cool just seeing the Alpha cars out there. And if y'all interested in a gaming PC, go to alphalatech.com and just trying to get that off the ground here. And I don't know, it's a lot of fun out there, and it's cool to see the company logos on another car, and kind of weird to race against an Alpha car.
Yeah. We were wondering through the race whether or not they were going to give you a hard time or not, or whether they were going to take it easy on you. But I think they went on the I'm going to give you a hard time route.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, I think everybody just races hard. Half the time if it wasn't for the names being on the back bumper, I wouldn't even know who it was. But it doesn't matter though. I don't. I'm not asking for any special treatment for sure. I just want to go out there and have a good time.
What's more tricky, racing on a full NASCAR super speedway at Talladega or Daytona, or racing in this championship with 50 Kia Optimas?
I mean, getting through traffic, this is, about as tough as it gets, just because, the car, on the NASCAR side, you can use the throttle to steer the car, I guess you could say, being rear-wheel drive. And with this, you have to be really patient, and if you get on the gas too early, it just kind of understeers up the track. But and with that, with it being pretty low horsepower, momentum is really important. So I had absolutely no idea what to expect, but I'm glad I raced it.
Will we see you at the road course next week at Donington?
Oh, maybe I'll have to see if I can run the race. This year I'll be running on and off races here and there, but I'm not sure yet. It's kind of, even today I wasn't even sure. I kind of just made the decision maybe like an hour left.
Do we know?
Yeah, Alex.
I was going to say, do we know if we're going to see Brian back in the series at all? Is he tempted to come and have a little play?
He might after seeing the first few races this year. I haven't talked to him about it, but he'll probably run a race or two.
Awesome.
Well, great to chat to you as always, Ray, and great result there, 40th to 4th. Feels great to watch, and yeah, we'll see you when you're next in the championship.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Ray Alfala there, one of the stars of the night here. Of course, is two-time champion in the NASCAR Peak Anti-Freeze Series Championship. There we go. That was easy for me to say.
Adam.
Yeah. I'm all tongue-tied after those 4 races. Colin Cunniff joins us in the commentary box for Friction Racing. Hello.
Hi, mate.
Well, you had 6th in race 3. Just looking at your results across the night. And in race 2, a 12th. And in race 1, you had a
bad race.
A bad race, yeah. You was pretty far down, 24th in the end there. But
when I qualified 5th as well, it was annoying.
But in
contact
race
with
4,
the wall, wasn't it? I think
that was it.
Big time hit, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was it. That's what cost me it. And then after that, I was just sort of damage limitation, just trying to get for a decent reverse grid chance, but I just sort of hung on by my tail, but you just wouldn't do it for me. So.
Where you finished, you were definitely in the thick of it in those 4 races. Those positions you finished seemed to be right where the action was on all 4 races tonight.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of incidents that I had to try and avoid. But luckily enough, I managed to avoid them. Usually it's me that's straight into hitting them. So maybe my luck's changed for the season. We'll see.
Friction Racing seemed to be doing okay in the championship this season. Next week we head to Donington. You're currently sitting 8th in the standings. How do you usually fare around Donington?
I love Donington. I absolutely love the track. And the 3 of us in the team love the track as well. So hopefully we should make up for what we've lost in this week. The other 2 guys, they're quite disappointed with their week's work. So hopefully make up for it next week.
Anyone you want to... Yeah.
Yeah, same question. Anyone want to have a quick shout out to Colin?
Well, cheers again to Steve at FX Collar for sponsoring us. He's got us through the first few weeks. Hopefully we'll try to see if we can get him to sponsor us for another few weeks or so, but we're currently actively looking for sponsors, so if you know of anybody that's looking for a mark on the car that will get on other series as well, feel free to contact us.
Awesome. And where can they actually get hold of you, mate, if they need to? Let's do it all properly.
Well, you can get me at colin.cunniff@sky.com, and you just contact me direct and I'll be able to sort something out for you. My name is actually spelled correctly on the screen, as you see. A lot of people get that wrong, so just get that at sky.com and then that'll get me through.
I didn't mean to give out your email address live on the air or anything like that.
No, that's
you're
fine.
about to get spammed to death now,
Good.
I can tell you that.
I very rarely get emails anyway, and I've turned the notifications off, so it'd be good to get some action in that for a change.
Awesome, thanks, Colin. All the best at Donington, and we'll see you there, or when we're back. In fact, yeah.
Right, no bother. Cheers, guys.
Colin Cunniff there on the back of a reasonably okay race meeting. We'll run you through the championship standings at the end of this race meeting before we get the final word from Alex. Savidovic leads Richard Gore by 4 points heading into Donington Park. Michael Schabak in 3rd, 4th Simon Field, 5th Stelian Chepelevsky, 6th Alex Smolensky, and then 7th it is Jamie Fluke. Colin Cunniff, as we were talking to then, 8th. George Simmons, who won race 4, in 9th. And in 10th, his teammate Ben Hackerson. Richard Gore, 346 points clear in the Pro-Am Championship. Liam Atkins 2nd, Paul Smith 3rd, Craig Evans in 4th, and Nick McCarron in 5th. And in the Teams Championship, Apex Racing have relinquished the lead at long last in the Teams Championship to Alfala Tech, 41 points back for Apex Racing, with Simpson Racing in 3rd, Friction 4th, Eurochip Digital in 5th. Well, Alex, that's the end of it then at Phoenix. And yeah, we're out of breath.
Yeah, indeed. 4 fun-filled races there, and very difficult to keep up with, but that's exactly how we like it. Donington, I feel, will be very much the same. The intention for us is to try and do it live from a hotel conference room.
All 3 of us together, though.
Next week, yeah, for the first time ever, all 3 of us will be together. We have no guarantees what the internet stability is going to be like there, so the intention is to do it. Whether or not it will happen or not, I really don't know. If it can't be done live, we will try and at least record something, whether it be post-race with replays or something like that, guys. But yeah, the entire Apex Racing TV in UK and Academy sort of main team are down at Silverstone for the World Endurance Championship, so 18 of us. If you're there over that weekend, just give us a shout on Facebook, and we'll tell you where we're all at. So it should be a whole lot of fun. And of course, if you're in and around that area and staying over the 3 days as well, we've also got 3 rigs set up in the Holiday Inn as well. So should be a lot of fun. You can come along, poke your head in there, and try out some of the equipment that we've got. Obviously, we've got the Leobodner steering wheels and JCL sim rigs as well down for you to have a play with. So if you're kicking around the area in and around Northampton, want to come and see us, then just like I say, just hit us up on Facebook, and we'll get it all sorted out.
Andrew Woodhouse will, of course, be back next week. So that's all to say. That's it then. 4 races have been completed here at Phoenix International Raceway. 16 races now in the book. 132 races, of course, make up the BSR TC. My thanks to Alex, of course, iRacing World Championship driver. And we'll see Andrew Woodhouse, of course, next week. But thanks for watching the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and Motors TV. We will see you at the next race meeting, possibly at Donington Park next week. Bye for now.